custody at 2 separate locations in northeast Victoria and are now being questioned by police. Freeman was shot dead at a makeshift campsite and shipping container in March. 7 women and 12 children will land in Australia this afternoon after leaving a camp in northern Syria. They're called the so-called ISIS brides and will be arrested when they land. One woman is seeking legal advice after she was prevented from travelling because she's deemed to be a high security risk. Prime Minister Anthony Albanese telling Parliament the government has not provided any assistance.
I have nothing but contempt for anyone who has any sympathy for ISIS. Point 2. The government has provided no assistance for these people. Point 3, any breaches of the law will mean that these people will face the full force of the law.
Federal police are investigating the intimidation of witnesses appearing at the Royal Commission into Anti-Semitism. Commissioner Virginia Bell has expressed her concern at the wave of hate expressed on various platforms. She says she won't tolerate the harassment of witnesses. The Royal Commission has begun its second block of hearings focused on security measures in the lead-up to the Bondi Beach terror attack. The state government has a new campaign to delay the introduction of smartphones to kids. The Wait Mate program is designed to reshape social norms around early phone adoption. Education Minister Lucy Hood says more than 70 schools have signed up to host a session.
We've already had 1,600 parents sign the online pledge to delay their child accessing a smartphone. So that's from more than 227 schools across the state. So feel free to jump online, make that pledge, and you can start being part of a community that's all about making sure our kids are off screens and more active.
The Late Show with Stephen Colbert is not disappearing altogether. The set has been donated to America's Museum of Broadcast Communications. The show wrapped last week after 11 seasons. Now turning to 5AA sport, and there's talk James Hird could return as Essendon coach. Brad Scott has been sacked, with Dean Solomon steering the ship for the rest of the season. The AFL mid-season draft is on tonight and the Bombers have pick 1. The Maroons have confirmed captain Cameron Munster is a definite starter in tomorrow night's State of Origin opener against the Blues. Day 2 at the French Open saw wins for Aussies Alex de Minaur, Daria Katsakina and Thanasi Kokkinakis. And the Knicks are headed to the NBA Finals for the first time in 27 years. Now checking 5AA traffic.
At Regency Park, a crash to look out for. Regency Road near South Road. Quite big delays around the area at the moment. Pretty slow going. Main North Road, Enfield, starting to build. Glen Osmond Road to the Fullard Road intersection, just near the Arkabar Hotel. And look out for works today at Wingfoot, which are really slow right now. The Porter Expressway near Hanson Road. Camera, Cavan Road, Dry Creek. Want no merchant fees for 3 months and $100 in your business account? Sign up for an eligible Westpac merchant facility and open a new Westpac business transaction account. Search Westpac FBOTS to get started. T's and C's apply. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Now the 5AA forecast.
Get the Toyota Forklift Advantage. Visit toyotamaterialhandling.com.au.
A possible shower this afternoon, a shower or two tomorrow, 19, Thursday partly cloudy, 18, and Friday, 19. Right now, it's 15 degrees. Now let's hear what's happening on 9 News tonight.
I'm Brenton Raglas. Tonight, another search for Gus Lamont. Why police are back at the Mindorf property he vanished from. See the mess Martin church vandals left behind. SA's energy price hike as the cost drops across the rest of the country. And thousands of pensioners underpaid. What you need to do now. 9 News. Your news. Nightly at 6 on 9 and on 9 Now.
In Adelaide and across South Australia, this is 5AA, always Adelaide. Adelaide's only local sports show, the 5AA Sports Show.
Coming up, the Bombers sack Brad Scott. We'll speak with Eddie Maguire to gather his thoughts along with his tribute for the late Neil Danaher. Matt Crouch and Dean Brogan are in the studio, plus it's mid-season draft night. Derek Hine with his insights.
Rowey and Timmy G. The 5AA Sports Show.
Thank you, Sammy. Yeah, first bossy now, Brad Scott. Essendon have, well, I think they've run out of patience. Losing to Richmond will probably do that. They're 1 win, 10 losses. Stone, motherless last, not improving. 1 win in their last 24 games. Timmy, welcome.
Hello, yes, Stephen.
And there's no joy in that.
Exactly right.
I love Brad and I love Vossi, and most coaches we do, but they bit the bullet, bit the dust.
Yeah, and look, one win, and probably the biggest thing was there didn't look like there was any progress in the playing group.
Green shoots, green grass.
None of that was coming to the fore, but I just wonder, is this now bigger than, the coach? It's been a long time without success.
We've got all those stats. We'll run through them.
And
You're right.
It is. I think it's a very big task as a whole club.
Whole club. That's the term they all use now.
Yeah.
And let's face it, you need to recruit well, develop well, coach well, retain well, and be able to attract well. They haven't ticked any of those boxes.
It's been a very difficult path, hasn't it? And
it has.
The saga of Merritt, I think, late last year, and then into this season. Where does it put his thinking?
He's gone.
Well,
he's out.
You think so, but does this change that for him? Be interesting to get an insight into that.
22 years without winning a final.
Yeah, 04, wasn't it? Yeah.
2000, their last flag. I mean, we can't talk. Ours is 97.
Yeah, I know what you're saying, but it's more so about probably not seriously knocking on the door since then.
Yeah. Dean Solomon will be the caretaker coach. Brad had 1 year to run in his contract. Now he's gone. Here's President Andrew Welsh.
This is an industry that demands high performance, continual improvement and a relentless drive to get better every day. We are not comfortable with where we currently sit. As a board, we met in recent days, assessed our position honestly and made a decision. The nature of our losses, the way we are playing and the key performance indicators we set out at the start of the season are not trending in the right direction. When we looked at the overall picture, we agreed that a fresh voice was needed to take this club forward and that Brad would not be our senior coach in 2027.
Hard to argue with all of that when you look at the cold, hard facts. Continued improvement, they haven't seen that. Nice payer, north of $1 million, and he said we're going to pay that out. So clearly, green shoots, I don't know what you want to call them, one win in the last 24. Yeah. That's damning.
It is damning, and it's like I said, it's more so
no progress.
Not being able to see any progress. That's the bit I think that probably ended his tenure. But I think it's bigger than just Brad Scott. That's the issue, and fixing it is going to be really difficult.
So he's been in the chair for 3.5 years. This is Brad. When Ben Rutten, got clipped. From there, they really haven't seen any growth. So he coached for 80 games, 29 wins, 50 losses and 1 draw. Still better than a couple of coaches that are going around at the moment. Andrew Welsh again.
Dean Solomon will take charge of the football team in the interim and has our complete backing. We will outline the process of finding our next senior coach in coming weeks. There is a lot to be gained from the second half of the season and we won't waste the opportunity to develop and improve on our performances. We know recent times have been hard for Essendon people and we feel that deeply. But I want to be clear, we are not going backwards from here. The direction of this football club is strong. We are confident the days ahead for Essendon are the best days that we will see from this club and we're excited about the future.
Yeah, well, they're just words. Sheeds left in 07, Worsfold, Knights, Hurd, Rutten, Brad Scott, Bomber Thompson in 2014 because of the supplement saga. I mean, that's damning, isn't it?
It is, isn't it? And after such stability with Sheedy for all those years, and rightly or wrongly, they ended that, which is fair enough. That was a long period, but they haven't been able to get that right since, have they?
3 clubs are on the hunt for coaches now: Tassie, Carlton, and Essendon.
Yes,
pick one.
What that I'd like to coach?
822 300 pick one.
Yeah, me, Carlton.
Would yours be Carlton?
I looked at them. I know when we didn't play well, and Port Adelaide may have overinflated what they look like, but I don't think their list is as bad as what their win-loss is.
But what about their culture? What about their past player culture? If Fossey couldn't straighten it out, how could you?
No, I think Carlton is a better list to take. I really do, and I think a better club to take over. I think Essendon's far deeper.
Okay. Have you seen Tassie's concessions?
Massive.
I thought you would have jumped. I would jump at Tassie a million miles an hour.
I don't
reckon.
It's a
new toy. It's like a Christmas present under the tree.
Hold it how you like.
And you get a little sugar hit and all the rest of it. But honestly, it's still a start-up club. It's going to be very difficult. It's going to be very difficult. And I remember Matt Rendell, the great Matt Rendell, bless his soul, he said when they got like the first 9 or something ridiculous in the draft, he said, you're setting these guys, GWS, he said, you're setting these guys up to win, 10 flags in a row. This is ridiculous. This will have massive impacts on all the rest of it. And it didn't, because they eventually go and get poached by other clubs and bring them back to Victoria or wherever they come from. So,
but I think with Tassie, unlike Gold Coast and Sydney, that's exact. That
it's a
is
bonus.
So
there,
look how well your first year was.
We're gonna
Port better than any other franchise.
I agree, but
you had a quarter of the concessions that this mob's going to get.
Probably less, but it was also a football state and a football club.
That's what it was.
It already was established. So this is going to be a lot more difficult. We'll speak to their list manager, which is going to be exciting. But he must be like a kid in a candy shop. I mean, plus the $5 million extra on the salary cap to spend. I'm thinking to myself, he's got the money bags, he's running down the road. What am I going to buy? What am I going to buy? I mean, it's exciting for him. I agree.
Well, my first question is, does that mean you've got a gold-clad guarantee of getting Nick Dacos?
Yeah.
Well, they've got to pay someone $3 million a year.
Yeah.
Might as well be him.
Well, if
you've got a relationship with him.
If that's the player you want.
My chair just went down about 8 metres. I feel like I'm sitting on the floor.
Yeah. I think it was your opening statement, maybe just dropped your chair.
I meant 80 millimetres.
Oh, right. Okay.
Mid-season draft tonight for clubs who either A, have had bad luck with injury, or B, have a crap, pathetic list management structure and team and strategy.
Jeez.
I've got some stats on this. I'm going to share them with you.
Okay.
So the draft tonight.
Yep.
I mean, come on. You're not a fan of it.
I'm not. No, I prefer, like I said to you, working out some way of a mid-season trade.
There's no respect for state leagues, does it?
No, I think it really does ravish some. You've only got to lose 2 good players and really affects you.
I'm going to give you 2 examples. You're right. I reckon it can cost a sample team absolutely some wins. Could cost a sample team maybe a spot in the top 5, maybe even to win a final or even a grand final. And one of them, and I'm not just saying it because James is down there, but I look at the Eagles. They've done very well in their development. They might have 3 to 4 players taken. Here's Sam Jacobs.
The mid-season on Tuesday night, we could potentially have the heart ripped out of our team. So, while it's all exciting, I guess, as a coach, it's great to see these guys developing and, hopefully they get their chance as well. But I honestly don't know where all that sort of stuff sits. So it's really hard because, I sit here and, how excited I am about the win. I could lose 2, 3, 4 guys Tuesday night.
Now, Lucas Cook is a key defender. He's had a real breakout year. He's only young. 22. He's missed a couple of drafts. Very good size, and he's having a terrific season. Drop-off defender. Think of Ram from Glenelg.
Yep.
Very, very, very similar. Now, if the Eagles were to lose him, and I know we've all got to say, and I'm going to put that in there, we've all got to say, they get an opportunity at the biggest thing. And
it's good for the kid.
We love the kid and all that. Do it at the end of the year when you've got a chance to do the draft. What are you going to do at the middle of the year? What are you going to raid the local leagues and stuff them up? I look at another club, South Adelaide. Bass has gone there, developed this kid called...
Sorry, that's
West Adelaide.
Oh, West Adelaide. Sorry, where did I say?
South.
West Adelaide, Bass. Callum May, it was the state ruckman, wasn't he? 208 centimetres. West Coast are in a million miles an hour. Then there's another kid, Tom Scully, been on a list, gone back, done well, developed by Bass. They've and style now that gets it into it. What if they lost both of them?
That'd hurt.
They finished bottom again.
Absolutely hurts. Yeah, well, we know that result. And we've seen it. I think it affected Glenelg quite significantly last year. They made a grand final, but I don't think they were as strong as what they could have been.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to make this statement. I'm going to give you some facts with it, right? If you're a club that's reliant on the mid-season draft, then your list team hasn't done its job. And I'll back that up. I know you can have injuries.
Yes.
And that's a given. But what do these teams have in common? I'm going to read you out some teams. Lions, Fremantle, Geelong, Sydney, Suns and Melbourne. It's basically the top 6.
Okay, yep.
No list spots.
Yep.
They're full.
They're full.
And normally that
No, what does that tell? And we've always said, gee, what Sydney do is good. Suns have got their list together.
Yeah.
Geelong have been outstanding, and Fremantle have built this for 5 years.
It might also be not experiencing injuries that other clubs have.
But that's exactly right, and that's how. What do these clubs have in common? Essendon, Tigers, Eagles and Port.
All down the bottom 5.
And Port have 3 list spots, Eagles 2, Tigers 2, Essendon 2. Now, I know there's injuries amongst all of that. Bulldogs didn't have a list spot available, but they do now because Sam Darcy's injured. Crows had one carried over. Hawthorn had one carried over. Now, there might be some strategy behind that. They might have had their eye on a kid and then, hedge your bets. But it falls on deaf ears. The AFL doesn't care.
No, I pretty much believe that. And look, they introduced it, so I definitely don't care. So
yeah. Anyway, Essendon supporters, give us a call 822 300 Vent your anger, your disappointment. What's next? Who's your coach?
Well,
they're mentioning James Hird.
Yeah, I know. I'm not sure that. Well, I know fan base wise, I know that there'll be great support and the like, but I'm just not sure James would want to go back into that realm.
Well, is he the answer?
Who knows who's the answer? I mean, we've been struggling since the flag in 2000 as far as getting that right. But
I'd love to hear from Bombers supporters.
Well, this is a Bomber.
They're everywhere.
I got a text
everywhere
from Jimmy at Prospect, and he said you can't. This is his assessment of the sacking. He said you can't lose to a B grade Richmond. Expect no response, no defensive actions, no game plan. Players are confused. Selection integrity. You can't say you're going to pick kids and then go back to senior players. No development. This is going to be the biggest decision Essendon has made since they appointed Sheedy 46 years ago. They got to get it right.
Well, they thought Brad Scott was the man to do that, didn't they? They thought Brad Scott was that. Because he's a senior coach.
Yeah, you're right.
He'd be able to galvanise everyone.
So as a club, analyse why Brad Scott didn't work.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Analyse as a club why that didn't work and go, okay, what have we got to fix other than getting a head coach?
There's your starting point. 822 300
We'll go through all that in your calls next. 19 after 4.
Rowey and Timmy G, the 5AA Sports Show. Each week on the 5AA Sports Show, Rowey and Timmy G track down the sporting greats of years gone by. With 5AA's Where Are They Now? Thanks to Walco. Walco are at the centre of SA's biggest cover-up with their incredibly good-looking Walco mesh pool cover.
Great things begin with the right space. A space to work, a space to store, a space to create. Right now, build the space you've always wanted with Olympic Industries sheds, garages and outdoor storage designed for Australian lifestyles. Visit one of Olympic Industries' inspiration centres today and bring your space to life. Start something with the Olympic Industries sale. On now.
Head to your local Kia dealership and drive away in your new Kia. Lock in electric deals like the Kia EV5, now starting from $49,990 drive away. Or check out the award-winning small SUV, the all-electric Kia EV3. All backed by Australia's first and still best 7-year warranty. Visit your local Kia dealership today or find out more at kia.com/au.
Kia. Movement that inspires.
Rosanna Mangiarelli here on 7 News, why police have launched a new search for Gus Lamont. South Aussies cop a power price hike while other states are better off. The push to keep kids off phones for longer, plus the plan to permanently honour Neil Danaher.
Get your investing edge with the CommSec market experts.
4 minds.
One sharper view.
Our market insight is your investing edge.
Join us on the daily CommSec Market Update podcast.
Podcast created and distributed by CommSec. Content is general in nature. Investing carries risk.
At McGill's Fresh Seafood, you're not guessing what's fresh. You're getting the real deal. Owner Andy hails from Port Lincoln and has spent decades in the fishing and seafood retail industry. It means he knows better than most, dealing with local suppliers, sourcing fresh seafood daily from all over Australia, then processed on-site by his team. From fresh fillets to frozen favourites, McGill's has the full range of Australian seafood. Visit McGill's Fresh Seafood at McGill Village Shopping Centre. Bought today, sold today.
Here's an important air conditioning tip from Morford Air. Never give your teenagers control over the aircon remote. Your energy bills could go through the roof. Instead, for summer, set it around 21 degrees. It's the most energy efficient temperature. And if you turn it on early, before the teens are out of bed, your system will have less work to do, keeping your home cool all day. When it's too hot or cold to bear, reach for the Morford Air. morfordair.com.au.
Morford.
Hey, it's Hayley and Lauren. You know Adelaide, but do you really know us? Welcome to Adelaide Unfiltered. It's our chaotic little sister. It's the stuff that doesn't normally make it online or onto the TV show. The stories we probably shouldn't share. We have a whole lot of laughs. It's raw, it's ridiculous, and yeah, it's completely unscripted. So if you love Adelaide, you're going to fall head over heels for this. Adelaide Unfiltered on the 5AA Player app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Rowey and Timmy G, the 5AA Sports Show.
There are different levels of support for the club. Like some people are financial backers of the club. Some people are just people I know and have met over the years are the fans of the football club. And I get the feeling that there's a very, very strong push from a lot of people out there to get James back at Essendon coaching. Now, I do not know whether or not he wants to put himself through that process. He put himself through the process last time. I believe that the next in line, had it not been a choice between Brad Scott and James Hird, then James was second based upon that interview process.
And Essendon great there in Tim Watson speaking earlier today. James Hird, is he in line to take the new role at the Bombers for 2027 going forward? Have you say 8223 0000. Our lines are open and we'll take your unique homestyle food texts as well. But first, here's traffic around Adelaide.
Afternoon, delays clearing from an earlier smash at Regency Park, Regency Road near South Road. Busy at the moment at Tranmere for works, Glenburn Road near Arthur Street, slow going Glen Osmond Road near the Fullerton Road intersection just near the Arkabar Hotel. And a camera this afternoon to look out for Grand Junction Road at Regency Park. Fernwood women are just strong. They're strong to the core. Join this May and get 2 weeks of Reformer Pilates included. End Sunday. Visit fernwoodfitness.com.au. T's and C's apply. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
8223 0000. A lot of people saying James Hird. That was the great Tim Watson there. There's a text. We love your interaction. Bombers supporters, time to rise. Speak up. I'd rather lick a toilet seat than have James Hird coach my club again.
Wow.
And I've supported the Bombers my whole life.
Wow,
Ouch.
that's a strong one.
Here's an interesting one. And we heard Tim talk about coiteries and sponsors and fans and all that. They have a power base underneath their board and executive at Bombers. That's got to be unhealthy. Here's just a good example. Dean Solomon was on the board in 2025. Tick. Yep. Dean Solomon was an assistant this year at the Bombers. Tick.
Yeah.
He's now the interim coach.
Well, so strange.
The understanding is...
Now you tell me another club that would happen.
Well, apparently Brad Scott not happy about that either. And that made it an awkward relationship right from the beginning. So
of course it would
he's
have.
feeling like, well, the board's planted him on me.
Of course they have.
Dean's probably trying to do his job but goes, well, I can't get what I need from the senior coach. You've got that happening. I mean, there's so many dramas happening out and about of trying to just win a footy game.
Here's another one.
Don't need it.
They've basically had 3 rebuilds in that time. They've had cultural shifts, board overhauls. They've gone from Brasher to Barham to Walsh in a 5-year period.
3 different hierarchies basically at the club in about 4 years. 5 years.
CEOs, list managers. Yeah.
It's extraordinary how much change.
Hello, John.
Stephen, Timmy.
Hey,
and
John.
Kay. No, just pretty disappointed on the radio. I heard from another radio station this morning. Jordan Lewis, he was on the selection panel that picked, he said, pick Brad Scott over James Hird. Well, why would a guy get on national radio and say that when himself, he played at 2 clubs, at Hawthorn and Melbourne, and getting on who he voted for the coach of Essendon? I just thought it was a pretty low act myself.
Well, John, the clubs do get external people into their club.
Jason Dunstall's done it a few
At the
times.
Crows,
Yeah. And we had Jordan
And get
on
another
last
lens is
week.
good.
We had John Lewis on last week and he actually did speak about it. Let's have a listen.
I was part of the process to select Brad Scott as coach because they were going down this development path. when the time came that the pressure would mount on this football club, it just couldn't be a first-time coach. It needed to be a strong character, and I've said it's coaching suicide if you are a first-time coach that will take over this list at this football club, because we've seen time and time again, at some point, if you want to go down the development path, the pressure will come. And if you haven't been involved in that environment, you'll be out the door within 2 to 3 years.
Yes, I believe that.
So if you're John Longmire sitting there, these clubs will be knocking surely. If John Longmire's sitting out there,
knocking on his door.
Ken Hinkley sitting out there,
knocking on his door.
Well,
Nathan Buckley knocking on his door.
Simpson, Hinkley,
Simpson.
I'm going
Buckley.
James
and you already asked the question, which one would you take, the Tassie job or Carlton or Essendon? And I said Carlton because I think their list isn't as bad, and I think there is a.
But what about their club?
Solid base? I think there's still
got cultural problems.
But I think they're easier fixed than the Bombers' problems.
Okay.
And there's a lot more to work with. That's what I'm probably saying. There's a lot more to work with now.
Okay.
And that'd be an interesting one for, say, a coach like Longmire and probably Ken Hinkley in an age group that, do I want to go to the startup, which might take a long time and what's not, or this could turn around quickly.
Yeah. But a startup would excite me a lot, even in business. A startup business or an existing one?
I think you need to be 45, not 59.
Oh, age is just a number.
It is
Timmy
just
G.
a number. I agree with
Hello, Robert.
Who got their seniors card?
Hey, next time you're speaking to Scott Camprioli, I'd like to see if you could ask him the question if he'd put his hand up for any of those jobs.
Yeah.
It's Robert. I came downstairs with Campo after a game one night, and we ran into Ken Hinkley as we were walking out. And he said, doesn't it feel great not have to go home and code all that crap? It is such a heavy load job, whether you're an assistant and or a senior, all encompassing, and the amount of work that they put in and the hours. I think Scotty at the moment is enjoying the freedom, and I think he still wants to go and watch his lads play. So I don't think he'll be in
different phase
in
of his
the running,
life.
Robert.
But I'll answer it simply like this, Robert. That's right. If he wanted to do it, he'd get it. And if he got it, he'd be bloody good.
Tom from Clemsig on the unique homestyle food before we go to the headlines. Long-suffering Bombers supporter here. Speaking of Ken Hinkley, I want Ken Hinkley, someone who has proven long capabilities to get a team out of rock bottom and someone who the players will love and respect. That stability we have been missing for years. Thank you, Tom, for your thoughts. Give us a call, 8223 0000 next. Dean Brogan's going to join us and Matt Crouch in the next half hour.
The FIVEAA Sports Show, Rowey and Timmy G.
This is 5AA News. Always Adelaide.
Good afternoon. Mel Usher with the 4:30 News headlines. 2 women and 7 children with links to Islamic State have landed in Melbourne after leaving Syria last week. More than 400 local jobs have been secured at Balfour's as the bakery returns to SA ownership. A fresh police search is underway near Yunta in the state's north for missing 4-year-old Gus Lamont. And in sport, we're heading into day 3 of the French Open. Now checking 5AA traffic.
Afternoon at the airport, a crash, James Mulrose Road at Airport Road, Regency Park. Delays clearing from that early smash, Regency Road near South Road. And look out for works at Keswick, which are a bit sluggish to the Savo. Richmond Road near Marlow Road. Camera, Davenport Terrace, Richmond. Get an MGenius deal on the MGHS plug-in super hybrid SUV, now with $6,000 cash back. T's and C's apply. See your MG dealer today. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
The 5AA forecast down to 10 tonight, a shower or 2 tomorrow, 19. Right now it's 15 degrees. We'll have more news at 5 on 5AA, always Adelaide.
Chris Bowen has assembled an army of more than 100 bureaucrats.
David Pentworthy and Will Goodings.
To help him with his COP president mission, his department has billed taxpayers almost $500,000 in just 4 months to send the officials overseas to assist the climate change minister with his global green negotiations.
5AA Breakfast.
You know what, in a nutshell, there is the One Nation vote.
Completely.
Weekdays from 6 a.m. on 5AA. Always Adelaide.
Last month, we serviced around 11,000 vehicles, more than 1,500 Fords, 1,200 Holdens, 1,000 Subarus, 800 Isuzus, MGs, BMWs, Mercs, Audis. That's right, over 11,000 people trusted us with their pride and joy. Automasters, isn't it time for you to switch and save? Call 1300 Automasters or book online. All centres offer repair now, pay later options. So switch and save with Automasters. Great service, guaranteed.
Planning your next event? Choose a venue where everything comes together. Adelaide Convention Centre. It's where your vision and our expertise come together, where creative cuisine meets extraordinary productions and excitement and innovation combine in a space that is truly world-class. From corporate gatherings to grand celebrations, we make every occasion unforgettable. Bring your event to life in a venue where it all comes together. Search Adelaide Convention Centre and start planning your next event today.
The things you value deserve the best protection. Your car, your tools, your weekend projects. Alpha Industries garages and sheds will keep them safe from rain, hail and the harsh Australian sun. Made from genuine Australian blue scope steel and fully welded for strength and durability, built with you in mind. South Australian owned and operated for over 40 years, Alpha Industries builds garages and sheds that work as hard as you do. Explore the range and ask for a quote today at alphaindustries.com.au.
The Mazda End of Financial Year event is on now. Get a great deal on select models like the exhilarating plug-in hybrid CX-60 and the 7-seat plug-in hybrid CX-80. Don't miss out. Ends June 30.
They say one of life's biggest decisions is buying a home. But sometimes the hardest one is leaving it. At Anglicare SA, we're here to help you stay where you belong, at home. We offer support for everyday things like cleaning, gardening, cooking, but are also experts in care management, allied health, and clinical nursing. Because we believe there's no place like home. Let us help you stay where your heart is. Find out more at Anglicare SA. You are at home.
Last month, around 11,000 people trusted us with their pride and joy. Automasters, logbook servicing, repairs, brakes, aircon and more. Isn't it time for you to switch and save? Call 1300 Automasters. Great service, guaranteed.
The 5AA Sports Show with Rowey and Timmy G.
26 minutes to 5. We have Eddie Maguire joining us at 5 o'clock tonight. We'll get his thoughts on Brad Scott and the Essendon Football Club. Matt Crouch as well with a half-year assessment on the Adelaide Crows. And we'll do the same with Port Adelaide right now. Thanks to fx.com.au. Cybercrime can cripple your business overnight. So book your free cyber security audit now.
Brogan gets there. Dean Brogan.
Big Dean Brogan's making a statement of his own.
On the 5AA Sports Show.
He certainly does that on a Tuesday. Thanks to effects. You been down to complete windscreens yet? Or
I haven't yet. He's been away.
He's been away. I was up at Alice.
Yeah, you were too.
We're doing it this week. We've both got no games this week, so we'll have plenty of time. I promise I will call you tomorrow.
FX.
Get your cyber security audit.
I do. I need him. I want him.
Okay, good.
Get
that underway.
Help me. Help you.
Yes. What more can I do? We did a bit of an assessment last night, mate. We've ended up Port Adelaide 14th after the 11 games, 3 and 8. Compared, and we sort of did a little comparison last year, 4 and 7 at the same time, but had some heavier losses.
Yeah.
So their biggest losses were round 1 and last week, and they were 46 and 34 points. So give us your assessment on perhaps what they've done well, what they need to improve on, and perhaps the mid-season draft.
Yeah, look, I if you take the win-loss out of it for a second, you look at what your eyes tell you in the first, first 11 games, we can see a brand and we can see a competitiveness. And now that waned a little bit last week, as we know. Carlton from start to finish were just too good. But every other game, you've been able to take something out of it, take a quarter or take a half. He showed something. Geez, they moved the ball really well. Geez, they defended the ground really well. Good to see Whitlock. They're playing kids. Josh Lai looks like he's going to be a really good player. Whitlock, we know, is going to take some time, but he shows a lot of promise. Vicentini's getting games. And you think there's something there. They're building something. Unfortunately, they've had 5 close losses, and the record reflects that. 3 and 8.
I did that last night. I reckon there was 2 we should have won.
Yeah.
I reckon the other 3 we would have stolen.
We would have stolen them, yeah. If you're sitting here going, well, you're 5 and 5, I reckon it's a pass. a really good pass mark. I had them down at the start of the year for 8 to 10 wins, so they're still kind of on track for that, but not winning any of those close games. You go into the break with a little bit of a sour taste in your mouth of, we could be 5 wins.
What did you make of that Carlton game?
I looked like a team that was looking for the bye. Take no credit away from Carlton. They've obviously been rejuvenated. Whatever Fraser's done, he's cut the cord on them and they're playing loose. And I just thought from the minute the first ball was bounced to the last possession of the game, they just looked a step off it and a pace off it. They played in Darwin the week before. That might have had something to do with it, but it looked like a team that knew they were having a break, and some players looked like they were looking
played
for
accordingly.
A break. Yeah, and the concern for me now with Port Adelaide is it gets hard now. They have a break, they reset, they regroup. Josh Carr and his coaches will go through what we're going through, the good, the bad, the ugly, and what we need to improve on. There's a lot of good there, but the players will be looking at the draw going, when's our next win? Like, we got West Coast after the break over there, which is always hard, and they look like they're starting to play a lot better now. And then you've got Sydney and Collingwood. Like, there's 3 games that you
3 wins there.
Oof. And then all of a sudden, you're in the middle of the season. There's some tiredness creeps in. There's some injuries that'll creep in. All of a sudden, you might be on 3 wins still.
So puts more emphasis on making sure you get that West Coast win under your belt to get some confidence out of that. You play Sydney at home.
Yep.
So at least it's at home. And then you got Collingwood. I'm not as scared of that as perhaps they, maybe other people are thinking. I think they should really launch themselves.
But if they turn up like they did against Carlton, they won't win any of those games.
And that's the concern
for me. They looked very tired and very off the ball.
I hope your theory is correct, that their tongue's hanging out and they want the break. Come back after the break and get back to what you did against Geelong. So you sit there and you look at that draw and you go, wow, Sydney, that's going to be really tough at home and all the rest of it. Did that not look exactly the same when we had Geelong coming
here?
And playing at home? The same thing. You got to switch that mentality around and go, no, we did it there. There's no reason we can't do it here. And I reckon there's a bit in your theory about needing the break.
And this is when good coaching and good leadership and good culture at your football club comes in, because you need your coaching and your leaders to stand up and bring energy around the place. Even though your win-loss record, you got to park that. You got to try not to look at it. What the coaching staff and the playing group got to do have got to hang your hat on little wins. Like, we're going to come out, we're going to be the best contested possession side over the next 3 weeks.
Because that dropped away.
It has dropped away. We're going to win, we're going to win our first quarters. We're going to make sure we come out and win every first quarter.
Because it hasn't been good.
So if you start doing that, eventually you end up hanging in games and you get back to where they were in that little patch. So they've got to get back to getting energy through the club, and hopefully Rosie comes back and Power Pepper's not far away, so that you get a little bit of energy through some players coming back. So it's not all doom and gloom, but it is a very dangerous time at the moment for the sake of when is their next win. And at the end of the day, it's a win-loss business. And look, Port know where they are and where they're going and what they're doing. A bit not like some other clubs you've spoken about today.
Yeah.
But they do need to start to get a couple of wins, just so the season doesn't fade out very quickly and the players start booking, footy trips at around 15, 16. The other thing, just before you go, is the whole Butters thing's going to come very, very loud and
quickly,
clear and quickly. So depending on what they do there, does he come out and tell them early that he wants to leave and they can get on with what they need to do, or does this carry on to round 23? I don't know what the right answer is, but this
certainly
is
not affecting the way he plays.
Oh, no.
So I don't know that we have to worry about him individually. Yeah.
But I think as a club, you want to know sooner rather than later.
Yeah. I reckon they already know.
Yeah. Well, that's the word. That's the word that there's whispers that he's already made his mind up and that, but that this is going to play out even bigger as the weeks go on. This is going to become a very much a talking point.
Is that word that Butters knows, but does the club know?
I reckon they do.
You'd have to think the club would have an idea
of which way it's going to fall.
Of which way it's going to fall.
They're both close.
It has.
Isn't that then just something that goes into Cripper's basket,
yep,
in box, and nobody else needs to be worried about that?
For a short time, I think so. I think while the season's still up and running and relevant, by the time you get to round 16, 17, I think everyone should know if a decision has been made, because then all the supporters and everyone knows what's going on. I think if
who does it help?
It helps the club. It helps the players.
You reckon?
I think so. I think knowing a player might not be there next year, he's told the club that he's going to go elsewhere and opportunities. I think with a month or 4 or 5 weeks out from the season might be the right thing to do. I haven't seen it. Has it been done before? What were we talking about? Patrick Dangerfield?
But that was never announced prior.
No, but he told them before the balls bounced.
He told the club.
He said, "I'm going."
But I think if he hasn't signed by round 18,
hey, no,
I didn't think so.
No,
yeah.
If he hasn't, if he has
managed.
Yeah, of course it was.
If he hasn't signed by round 18, 19, I think we know what's going on.
Yeah.
So I think everyone will know.
Can let them work that out
And
themselves.
I think your club in the industry is mature enough to understand that.
Yeah.
You're going to get Dougie Cochran. You're going to get probably 3 first rounds.
It's a lot more, what would you say, mature than it was back when Dangerfield would have told Triggy that I'm out at the end of the year.
But to summarise, they've shown enough to say to us supporters, there's something there. The game against Carlton wasn't great, but they get to reset, go again, and if they come out with that same energy and enthusiasm as they showed for that month there, where they should have won probably 3 games, as we said, 2 or 3 games, it could be a good second half of the season for them, but it does get hard. Now,
I said to Rowey prior to the season beginning, I said Port's biggest challenge is going to be their lack of depth, and I said, and that is games played.
Yep.
We've got a lot of blokes that, it takes 50 to understand, is this guy going to be to the standard?
Well, it feels like before you belong in the comp, it's 50 games.
And then 50 to 100, you go, are they going to be a sustainable player? So that is happening right before our eyes as we sit here. So that is still a jury out. And I think now for Josh and the like, they're going to want to see as much as that come to the fore, so they know who they're going forward with.
Absolutely. And there's so much, and for the older players as well, like guys like Toddy Marshall, Lockie Jones, like, where's your career at? What does the second half of the season look like for you guys? Jason or Francis, can you play like you did on the weekend every week like Butters? So it's not just these younger guys, it's these senior guys that have been around for a while. You need to start to show some consistency because they're in a rebuild, retooling, however you want to call it, phase. Reboot. If you're not going to put a couple of, you're out and a kid's going to come in. So I just wish they would have won another 1 or 2 games. I could sit here and go, it's all ticks at the moment. It's
still got a bit of a...
It's got a bit of a smell to it because of the win-loss. But if you look at it in depth, it's a lot better than what it was last year.
Yeah. Okay. Quick text, Timmy, where you mentioned the word coding. One of our listeners wants to know what you mean by that.
By what?
Oh,
coding games.
You said as coaching.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
Just quickly what that is.
Yeah, so what it means is they sit down and watch vision, and then what they'll do is they'll grab a piece of vision that they want to show either the individual or the team or the line, and they just mark that, take that out and put that into a folder basically, and that's the code of that particular play.
And it takes
and then you
ages.
Watch it. That's it. Then you watch it with the player one-on-one, and it's got all these...
Or the group or the backs or the forwards and the mids, whatever.
Yeah, you might code 30 to 40 things and only show 5 edits.
And then
the 30 or 40 things might take you 4 to 5 hours.
Oh, God.
Why coaching? Who would do it? Seriously.
Just a man that's been there, done that.
Thank you, Not putting up my hand again, let me tell you.
Thanks for coming,
boys.
I'll
Appreciate
say that. If you're in business, you're always a target for cybercrime and it could cripple you overnight. So get in touch with Effects IT for a free cybersecurity audit and visit effects.com.au. Here's traffic.
Afternoon at the airport, a crash, James Melrose Road at Airport Road. Regency Park delays clearing from that smash. Regency Road near South Road. And we're a bit sluggish at the moment for works at Keswick, Richmond Road near Marlow Road. Busy, Glen Osmond Road at the Fullerton Road intersection with a camera made Terrace Lockleys. Test drive and buy a Mahindra SUV and get a complimentary fuel card up to $5,000. Varies by model. Only available at participating dealers. T's and C's at mahindra.com.au. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Rowey and Timmy G, the 5AA Sports Show.
Right now, you're one step closer to driving away in Lexus luxury. The Lexus of Adelaide end of financial year event is on now. Receive exceptional value on all new and demonstrator models in stock, including the exhilarating NX and RX plug-in hybrid. The Lexus of Adelaide end of financial year event on now. LVD 2009.
Get ahead of winter with comfy credits from Origin. Move with Origin and you could get up to $200 in bill credits. That's $100 for natural gas and $100 for electricity, keeping you comfy and in control this winter. That's all kinds of useful. Search Origin today. New and moving residential customers only. Sign up by 30th of June and stay until 30th of June. Bill credit includes GST. T's and C's and eligibility apply.
Now, you know what hackers love? They love a busy finance team. A Friday afternoon and one email saying, we've changed our bank details. One fake invoice, one payment, whoosh, money gone, lawyers involved. Everyone wants answers, Rowey.
Well, that's why you've got to protect your business. It's not a luxury. It's a necessity, Timmy.
Correct.
And remember, even if you think you're protected, it might not be enough. Cybercrime evolves every day.
Spot on. The best thing you can do right now is get in touch with a trusted cybersecurity company called FXIT. It's spelled EFEX. Get in touch with FXIT and organise your free cybersecurity audit.
FX products Adelaide businesses from hackers and gives you the peace of mind.
Now, don't be an easy win for cyber criminals. Book your free security audit now at effects.com.au/protect. That is EFEX.com.au/protect.
Hey, it's Lauren here from Adelaide, and if you're like me and you love a good bargain from your local chemist, check out Star Discount Chemist. They're all about great value and helping your family stay healthy. Go in store or online for click and collect and delivery. Star Discount Chemist, how can we help?
At ADL Support Services, we truly care about supporting you. I'm Lisa River. Our family-run, local team have been providing award-winning care for 9 years, with services such as home and domestic support, community access and skill building. If you or someone you love needs quality home care, you can trust ADL Support Services. We're a business big enough to rely on, but small enough to know your name. Find your joy, find your yes and find your place at adlsupportservices.com.au.
Last September, the Optus 000 outage meant some Australians couldn't reach emergency services. We want you to know that we're introducing new measures to strengthen Optus's 000 service, including a dedicated team for 24/7 monitoring, expanding automated call testing, and improved escalation processes to identify issues faster. We're also working with other telcos, phone manufacturers, and government to further improve 000 for everyone. Building a stronger Optus? We're on it.
Rowey and Timmy G, the 5AA Sports Show.
It's 11 minutes to 5. Eddie Maguire's coming up very shortly. Time to dive into the Adelaide Crows. When you use ACE Transport Solutions, you're choosing to support local sporting clubs. Don't just send it, ace it.
Perfectly placed for the left-footed Matt Crouch.
Matt Crouch,
Quick pick up, the snap, and the goal.
on the 5AA Sports Show.
Crouchy, welcome.
Thanks for having me, boys.
No, well done. I said the same with Campo, a half-yearly report. There's 11 games. They sit 6 and 5. Are you a thumbs up, a thumbs down, or a cozzy?
I'd probably say cozzy at the moment. Yeah. Like it's, they're 7th on the ladder. They probably know they haven't played the footy they probably expected to play, but they've had a few things that haven't probably gone their way in terms of injury, some players that have been in and out of form. So, I think glass half full. I think if they can get some players back in the second half of the year, back into form, and I think they've got a few things in their game that they need to work on, but if they can get things right at the right time, I still think they can be a challenger come the end of the year.
100% agree. So what are the few things? I've listed my few things to work on. What are yours?
Yeah, I think the obvious one for me is the goals against in games is they've probably had momentum shifts where they just can't hold teams down with. I think on the weekend the Hawks kicked seven goals straight, and they haven't been able to play four-quarter footy. That's been the obvious one. And then the other one is probably their ball movement and their ability to play with a bit more freedom. I think that's another thing where they're stagnant with ball in hand out of their back half, where some of the best teams in the comp are moving the ball really fast and giving their forwards a chance. So that's probably been the frustration of us here and fans as well.
Yeah, and that link up with run and handball, to run to create. I think I saw a stat, GWS kicked 14 goals against Brisbane and had 1,000 metres plus gain with forward handball. Now, they've not turned on a dime. They've always been a handball running team.
Yeah.
But that forward handball seems to be the 2026, inverted commas, thing.
Yeah.
Sydney, them, Fremantle.
Gold Coast are
We
very
don't
good at
do it.
No, I think in the past we've, when I was there in the last few years, they've spoken a lot about building the ball up from your back third. And I think now teams are too good at getting numbers back and defending that part of the ground. And so I think
protecting an area and sending you wide.
And the Crows last year were going through the corridor more. Now they're sort of teams are forcing them wide, which has been a challenge. So I'd love to see them play with a bit more freedom in that aspect.
When the heat goes up in the kitchen, and that's finals-like pressure, and there are in games where opposition teams, and Hawthorn did it, they were up over 230. I'm not saying the Crows midfield crumbled. They couldn't get their hands on the ball, but when they did, they coughed it up, they turned it over. The turnovers increasing it. It's about having players that can make good decisions under pressure, and you know exactly what that is because that was your game.
Yeah.
Is that talent? Do we lack talent?
I think
in that area when the heat goes right on.
Well, if you look at the two games of the final series last year, I think that was the obviously glaring point for me. But
it hasn't improved.
Yeah, and that's probably been a bit of a worry. I think it was a bit of a trend throughout the start of this year. Yeah. But I think I think Rankin going into the middle of the ground now and becoming a permanent midfielder, that's definitely helped. Saligo, obviously, he hasn't been in great form. He started to find his feet the last few weeks. So, if you look at if those guys can get play their best footy in this back end of the year, it could potentially click for them.
Okay. Can Berry and Peatling together in that midfield take you to the top four and win a final? And individual, I love the both of them. Yeah. But I'm talking about now the mix.
Yeah, they're probably, they are alike in terms of that. I think Sam Berry's probably had his career best season. So
he's having a great year.
He's probably a little bit ahead of Peatling at the moment. But, and it's also what you've got to, isn't it, Rowey? Like you can't, if you drop Peatling out, you've got to replace him with someone who you think is better in that part of the ground.
Well, they're training Dan Curtin to be that.
Yeah, and that's the frustrating part. Like, I've seen him come back and sort of...
Stop talking about it, just do it.
Just play him in the middle of the ground.
Would you agree with that?
Yeah. And I think we spoke about that with Rankin as well. He probably played a bit more forward in the start of the year, and I would have liked to see him through the midfield a bit more too.
Yeah, but I'm with you. It's glass half full. I think the last 12 games for the year, if they can get some momentum, get the right team, get some continuity, change their ball movement, get the handle, they'll be right. I've built the next three as Judgment Day games. Geelong Thursday night.
Yeah.
Dogs Thursday night, and then Melbourne away.
Yeah.
I'm going to know a lot about this team and how much they've spent in this break, Nixie and his coaching group, about how they come out.
Yeah. I think in this break too,
Judgment Day.
Yeah. All teams review what they've done so far and where they need to improve. And I think, the Crows, the knock on the Crows, they haven't really beat anyone ahead of them on the ladder. So Geelong are in some really good form. And, I just spoke about the next three are going to be, big in terms of their season.
Tex wasn't selected. Gee, he got on the Mexican jumping beans and started taking hangers and all sorts of things.
How was that
did he
goal?
show him?
Yeah.
How was that goal? Oh, God, he's a star.
Yeah, I've seen a few of the clips of what he did.
Did he send them to you?
He didn't, but normally he would. But
he's not like that.
He looked pretty sharp, didn't he? So I expect him, especially with Phil Thorpe not playing next week, he'll come back in, and I think I don't think we'll see him too much in the sample.
Is it a bit of a blessing? I was a G for not playing Riley, Phil Thorpe, last week. He's been reported he misses one. I reckon if they hadn't played him one, he doesn't get reported. But I reckon he just would have got those 21 days of rest that perhaps he really needs.
Yeah, potentially, especially having Tex ready to go there. Obviously played in the sample, but yeah, it's a decision you're probably never going to know fully. But I think Riley hasn't. He's another one who probably hasn't been at his best throughout the start of this year, and they need him getting
definitely
back
carrying that back. Yeah.
And that's been the thing. He's been a little bit underdone with that injury, so they need to get him back to his best.
Am I being unfair to say that if Burjo was there, he would have made that call? And this isn't in hindsight. I wasn't playing Thilthorpe this week. You heard that. I'm playing Tex. Now, the PPT has a reasonable say on when you're ready. You've got to pass that one, and that's the doctor, the physio, and the Burjo. Tick that box, you're in, and then you've got a spot you play him. If he was there, would have he said, nah, Thilthorpe needs another week? Is that reading too much into it? Am I putting too much cred on Burjo? You had him.
No, he was pretty strong on what he knew players needed to do to get up to play. So he, I've had different people in that.
Thing. Yeah, that was his thing.
Yeah, he and they're all. It's a numbers-driven role. That they look at a lot of things. And there's a lot of details that goes into it. But I think Burjo is pretty strong on when a player is ready to go. But hopefully, Riley can get back to his best.
Okay, are you with me? Judgment Day, those three. If we win all three of them, the lid's coming off. We're back.
Yeah, it's a massive part of their season. If they're good in these next 3 weeks, it's going to go a long way.
That was a ridiculous comment.
That was a lesson you learned last year.
No, it's never coming back.
You promised Will and Dave.
I'll think of something else. I'll theme something else. But those
you
three
games.
The
boys are back in town 2 weeks ago.
That's right.
That's true.
That's right.
That's true. Over 1 quarter against North. You dickhead.
Funny
you
stuff.
dump that?
All right, we are time to go. But
Well done,
Matty,
Matty.
great work again. We'll see you after the bye next Tuesday.
Cheers, boys.
Whatever you need delivered, don't just send it, ace it. And when you do, you're helping them support over 25 sporting clubs and Breakthrough Mental Health Research Foundation. Don't just send it, ace it. Visit aceittransport.au. Our top story tonight is that Essendon have sacked Brad Scott, and after the 5 o'clock news, Eddie Maguire will weigh in.
Rowey and Timmy G.
The 5AA Sports Show.
At Coles, you can save with a grab-and-go breakfast. Right now, get half price on Farmers Union Greek-style yogurt pouch 130 gram. Now just $1.25. Save in-store or online at Coles. Offer ends Tuesday.
Adelaide's local, trusted and truly connected talkback radio station. 5AA. Always Adelaide.
Listen.
On eBay, it's now free to sell, so you can keep more of what you earn.
Well, all right.
No transaction fees on your sales. Not available to pro sellers. See full terms on eBay.
G'day, it's Eddie May here from NRG Solar. If you're a business thinking about advertising on radio, I think the first step is to actually contact one of the crew at 5AA and just have a look at what the demographic is, how it would work for your business, what sort of ads might work for you, and then you can make an informed choice as to whether this is the path for you to take or not. In our particular space, there is more and more solar companies on radio, and I think it's important that you stay in the mix. So for us, it's part of our strategy. It's not our entire strategy. It's one of 5 different sources, but, you know, if you don't have them all in there, then you're just not part of it.
To get your message out there and grow your business, visit 5AA.com.au and hit the Advertise With Us link.
Great things begin with the right space. A space to work, a space to store, a space to create. Right now, build the space you've always wanted with Olympic Industries sheds, garages and outdoor storage designed for Australian lifestyles. Visit one of Olympic Industries' inspiration centres today and bring your space to life. Start something with the Olympic Industries sale. On now.
Local news and information first. This is 5AA News. Always Adelaide.
Down to 10 tonight, a shower or two tomorrow, 19. With the 5 o'clock news, good evening, I'm Mel Usher. Police returned to Oak Park Station today to continue investigating the disappearance of 4-year-old Gus Lamont. Hannah Ford from 7 News has been following the case for 8 months.
He was last seen out the front playing in a pile of dirt at his family's homestead near Yunta, September 27th, grand final night. And since then, there have been so many searches around that property. I think at least 9, maybe 10 searches.
Task Force Horizon members will be searching numerous locations on the property over the next 3 days, with major crime detectives and Star Group officers involved. More than 400 local jobs have been secured at Balfour's as the bakery returns to SA ownership. Unique Homestyle Foods has acquired the brand. It was sold to a WA company 3 years ago. Charges have been laid after a crime spree at South Brighton. 3 youths arrested following a series of break-ins early this morning. It will be alleged the trio broke into 3 homes, an SUV, and several items were stolen. A search of the boys allegedly uncovered balaclavas and a knife. A 13, 14 and 15-year-old will front court at a later date. 2 women and 7 children with links to Islamic State have landed in Melbourne after leaving Syria last week. Security met the families at the aircraft gate, avoiding the arrivals hall. 5 other women and 5 children will arrive in Sydney. The federal government maintains it has not provided any assistance in organising their repatriation. Well, the opposition is rejecting claims an increase in renewables is helping bring down electricity prices. More from Nelson Scott.
The Australian Energy Regulator will reduce the maximum rates retailers can charge customers on standard electricity plans. It means power prices are expected to fall by $137 in New South Wales and over $150 in parts of Queensland. Victoria will see electricity bills decrease by 5%, while South Australia is expected to have a more modest reduction. Energy Minister Chris Bowen claims the transition to solar and batteries is bringing relief to households and businesses.
The plan that we put in place is showing dividends for the Australian people.
But the opposition's Dan Tehan argues focusing solely on renewables while ignoring other power sources will make it harder to reduce prices.
We need energy abundance.
The new market default rates will come into force from July.
Researchers are using Food Allergy Week to enhance calls for more awareness around food allergies. They argue recognising the signs of anaphylaxis early and knowing how to respond can save a person's life. Professor Andrea Lapada says there are noticeable symptoms people underestimate.
Suddenly getting hives on the skin, and it gets very itchy and red. And this is usually within 20 minutes of eating a food. And this skin reaction is really part of an anaphylactic reaction. And when you have young children, you will see they actually get often dizzy or collapse. But everything happens in very short time.
Turning to 5AA sport, Essendon Premiership player John Barnes is backing James Hird to return to Windy Hill after Brad Scott was sacked following a disappointing season so far. Dean Solomon will coach the club for the rest of the season. Barnes says Hird is a sensational leader.
He's a cult figure of the club. He's a legend. He's an attraction for the footy club, which we haven't got at the moment. He will draw corporate sponsors, members. He will bring belief. He'll bring fun. He'll bring smiles. He'll bring Essendon people back to the club. I'm talking the calibre of Lloyd, Lucas, McCurry, Rollman.
President Andrew Welsh today said he isn't ruling out Hird returning. 3 Aussies will take to the court on day 3 at the French Open. More from Craig Gabriel, who's there.
Adam Walton and Alexei Popyrin are first up with their matches. Walton received the Tennis Australia reciprocal wildcard and he plays Daniil Medvedev. It's their 3rd meeting and Walton has beaten Medi. The head-to-head is 1-1. Popyrin takes on American Zachary Zvider. It was 2017 that Popyrin won the French Open Juniors and he was saying the trophy has gone missing. Kim Birrell plays later in the day against 5th seed Jessica Pegula. This is their 2nd meeting. Pegula won on hard court last August.
And the Knicks have won their 11th straight game and are headed back to the NBA Finals for the first time since 1999. Now checking 5AA traffic.
Afternoon at Mawson Lakes, big delays with a 5-car crash. That's nasty, isn't it? Elder Smith Road at Main North Road. Regency Park delays clearing from an earlier crash. Regency Road near South Road and getting quite busy. Glen Osmond Road at the Fullerton Road intersection just near the Arkabar. Cam Road this afternoon, Main North Road, Blair Athol. Dan Murphy's don't match prices. They beat them. Get Victoria bit of $3.75 mil bottles 24 case, $55 for My Dan's members. Ends Wednesday. Choose to drink wise. T's and C's apply. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Now the 5AA forecast.
Get the Toyota forklift advantage. Visit toyotamaterialhandling.com.au.
Down to 10 tonight, a shower or two for your Wednesday, 19. Thursday, partly cloudy, 18. Friday showers increasing 19. Right now it's 15 degrees. Now let's hear what's happening on 9 News tonight.
I'm Brenton Raglis. Tonight, another search for Gus Lamont. Why police are back at the Mid-North property he vanished from. See the mess Martin church vandals left behind. SA's energy price hike as the cost drops across the rest of the country. And thousands of pensioners underpaid. What you need to do now. 9 News. Your news. Nightly at 6 on 9 and on 9 Now.
Some swear jars collect coins. But at Buy Urban Bathrooms and Kitchens, their swear jar collects promises.
Hi, I'm Jasmine. I swear that all deadlines and production will be conducted efficiently and effectively.
Hi, I'm Amy, your first point contact at Buy Urban, and I swear to take all of your details and your wish list to pass on to our amazing team.
For a team that swears to deliver on quality and service, see Buy Urban Bathrooms and Kitchens, Adelaide's home renovation experts.
Hi, it's Eddie May here from NRG Solar. When it comes to power bills, NRG Solar understands that South Australian businesses are feeling the pinch too. The Cheaper Home Battery program isn't just for homeowners. Eligible businesses can access those savings as well. NRG Solar takes a consultative approach with commercial customers, starting with how your business uses power, then designing a solar and battery solution that makes financial sense. Talk to NRG Solar and see what a solar and battery solution can do for your business. Visit nrgsolar.com.au.
You had a dream. Life happened. You parked it. Well, the dream is back. The Honda Prelude returns. Reimagined for right now. For everyone who never stopped dreaming. See the icon for yourself at Formula Honda Glen Osmond or Modbury. The Prelude is reborn with hybrid efficiency, intuitive tech and instant torque. Welcome back, Prelude. Visit Formula Honda at Glen Osmond Road, Glen Osmond or North East Road, Modbury and book a test drive today.
Streaming live via the 5AA Player app. On DAB Digital Radio. And on 1395 AM. This is 5AA, always Adelaide.
Adelaide's only local sports show.
The 5AA Sports Show.
Still to come, Eddie Maguire with his take on Brad Scott's immediate sacking. We explore the potential for our two clubs at tonight's mid-season draft with long-time recruiter Derek Hine. Australia returns to the America's Cup and we'll take your calls. Get involved.
Rowey and Timmy G.
The 5AA Sports Show.
8 minutes after 5, our number and our lines are open. 8223 0000. Love your calls on the show, but right now...
And now...
You got to listen to me, mate.
On the 5AA Sports Show.
I'll give you the tip.
It's Eddie Maguire.
I'll tell you what's going on.
Thanks to Lexus of Adelaide, South Australia's exclusive Lexus dealer. Exceptional service plus encore benefits like complimentary loan cars and premium events.
It certainly has been a big week in footy.
And Harvey Norman Clearance Centre. Cooking appliances, washing machines, dishwashers, TVs and more. 919 Marion Road, Marion.
Oh, Eddie Welkin and a sad passing of Neil Danaher where Fight MND will be his legacy.
No doubt about that, and I think also his attitude to the world. Good afternoon, guys. Great to be with you. And that is, don't suck it up. Play the cards you have the best way you possibly can. And for a bloke whose football career was so devastatingly ripped from under him with his knee injuries after playing 66 consecutive games, winning at best and fairest and being captain of the Essendon Football Club at 21 years of age. He never complained. He got on with it. He rebuilt his career there. And then, of course, when he was diagnosed with MND, he came with Bill Guest, his great friend who has played an amazing role, to see me. And we had a beer down at the Portsea Hotel one summer. And he said that he had motor neurone disease. He said, no one knows what it is. He said, it's the worst thing. I can believe it's going to kill me. But I've got to do something while I'm here. And he only came to me because the idea was, how can we do something on the Queen's birthday, as it was then, matched with Melbourne and Collingwood. And at the time he said, I don't want to make any money. I just want to bring awareness. This is something that we should be doing and we need to try to do something about it. Well, of course, 10 years later, 11 years later, he's made something like nearly $150 million and will make huge amounts again on King's birthday this year. It'll be an amazing game. I think we could break the all-time record for attendance with people wanting to come to celebrate the life and just the spirit of Neil Danaher. He was a 1 in a million person.
Look, he was. I loved his quotes when everything's said and done. There's more said than done, and
Yeah.
you know but he lived it. He lived it through his whole career, Eddie.
Yeah. Look, you know, you look at Neil, and the last 10 years of his life, you know, and particularly the last 5 years, every breath he took was hard work, and every bit of effort that he had in his body, training his mind and his eyes to be able to even, you know, communicate on that pad that he had on his wheelchair. Everything was hard, and yet he gave. He didn't wallow in any pity, but he gave of himself. But his family gave of themselves as well. I mean, you think about just how much hard work and pain and suffering his wonderful family went through. And, you know, Beck was with us the other couple of weeks back launching this year's Big Freeze. And, you know, you knew that the time was coming for Neil. And a lot of us thought that last year he may not get to the game. And here we are 53 weeks later. He was still striving and still doing everything possible. And just a remarkable human being. And I think the most important thing for us now is to honour him by remembering what he stood for and what he did and continuing that and taking it into our own lives, you know. Open your eyes, look for the good in life and leave a mark, leave a legacy and look after your brother and sisters.
Oh, great words.
Yeah, spot on, Eddie, spot on. Again, it's sobering, isn't it? Every day you wake up, you're expecting a bright new day and the like, and Brad Scott finds out that he's no longer the coach of Essendon. How did you see that one going down?
Yeah, well, look, I think if you win one game in a year, you're probably
on the edge.
In trouble. And I think more importantly, my understanding, well, I know this to be the case, is the fact that Essendon won one first quarter for the year. Right. And when they came out before the injuries even on Friday, and you know they were getting walloped by the under-19s from Richmond. I think that was when it was done. And I think it's interesting. A couple of weeks ago, I said on my podcast with Jimmy Bartell that Scotty came out and said, Blind Freddie could see what he was trying to do, and I think a lot of people said, well, not really. We don't know what you're doing, and we've only won one game, and no, don't treat us all like mugs. You might be the smartest bloke in the room, but you need to take us on this journey. And I think in the end that was it, that Scotty was single-minded in where he was going. But the club in the end decided, well, no, you're not going to be the guy next year anyway, so let's cut it now and move on and reshape the club. So that's where we find ourselves today. So in a fortnight, we've lost Michael Voss and Brad Scott, two Brisbane Lion champion premiership players, two of the great names in the last 30 years of football. And, no one's happy to see them go, but it's been an interesting time, that's for sure, for these two great Melbourne clubs, Carlton and Essendon.
Well, it gets more interesting in the pursuit of the next coach. So, what sort of names? I mean, John Longmire, of course, comes up straight away, a guy that's coached a premiership.
There's only one name that anyone's going to be discussing, and he'll be sitting next to me tonight on Footy Classified on Channel 9, and I'm going to ask him directly tonight, do you want to coach Essendon? And that person is James Hird.
Yeah, surely they're not going to go back to that well, Eddie.
Hello?
Surely they're not going to go back to that well, Eddie.
I heard you. No, I don't know if they will or not. But, the first thing is whether James wants to have a crack at it.
Yeah.
Essendon need to fix their club. Not just
well said.
Well, that's
their club. You've got to fix your club.
Yeah.
Collingwood was in similar straits when I took over at Collingwood. People forget that my first 2 years we were last and second last. But the thing that really changed for our club was Mick Malthouse's appointment, and I didn't have to worry then about the football team. I could worry about rebuilding the club and get people in around the place. So. No, the Bombers, it's not about whether they get somebody, tonight in the mid-season draft or in the, whatever. Of course, you've got to get the good players in. They've got to come together and fix their club. Now, whether that means Hirdy comes back and can do that in some way, shape or form, time will tell. Or whether or not the current president has said, right, okay, I'm going to be the guy to lead this club out of the disaster. Does he look somewhere else? Back to your question, Tim. There are some really good people out there at the moment. Adam Simpson, John Longmire, are really good people. Ken Hinkley. I think the Bombers wanted to get Ken Hinkley at the start of the year. He might have his eyes now on things in Tasmania, which flips open to Nathan Buckley even. But, there's other guys like Hayden Skipworth, who spent time at Essendon, was an Essendon bloke, who's been fantastic at Collingwood as the assistant coach and seems to be almost the top of the pops of the untried, if you like. So, I think there's actually a pretty good group of people there. But I'll say it again. It doesn't. You could get Jock McHale, Jack Oatey, Foss Williams and Ron Barassi and roll them all into one. If the club's not together and going in the right direction, it makes no difference.
Yeah, spot on. So, whole club issue that they've got to fix and work hard on that.
You guys know it. I mean, I'm telling you, you guys have been right in the middle of it all. I mean, I saw it at my club. But we were able to turn it around. If you get everybody going in the right direction, and you've got a commonality of purpose and a love and a belief in your club, and that's what the Bombers need. Carlton have had a ray of sunshine for the last 2 weeks. But I must say, though, there is an odd line, though. What have you got when you've got an Essendon supporter and a Carlton supporter up to their neck in concrete? The answer is not enough concrete.
Yeah, love it.
So we are enjoying it.
I didn't want to say it.
I'm joking.
No. Hey, Collingwood Hawthorn draw in round 8. Who stuffed up there? There's apparently an interchange infringement. Have you caught up with that?
Caught up with it. My son broke the story on Channel 7 last night.
Too. Good lad.
He did. Yeah, Xander, he's going really well. Interesting. The interesting thing for me is that the AFL are running dead on this. Now, I mean, I look at it and I wouldn't probably change the game because Hawthorn didn't willingly break the rule. They were told they had an extra interchange. But the story is the interchange mucked it up again. And we understand that the mistake was in the first quarter. So the interchange stewards counting was there was one discrepancy compared to champion data. And Xander went through it and analysed it. I think he went through every interchange 6 times, I think was the amount he went through. And so did champion data. And they're right. So, I mean, I'm not so fussed. I don't think that they changed the game. I don't think Collingwood are going to make any official complaints because of that. But ultimately, you've got to get these things right. I mean, that's the one job. No point having a rule saying you got 75 interchanges, except when you got 76. So you'd think that there has to be a better way of doing it, whether they need to have somebody marry these things up at each quarter, and there's enough people around the place, or whether or not you actually, have a tag that you hand over every time there's an interchange or something like that. There's got to be a way of doing it, and that everyone knows, because if you're going to have the rule, then you've got to have the rule. But as it stands, there was one extra interchange, and that free kick should have gone to Collingwood. I don't think that anyone's going to complain or ask for a recount, but I'll give you the tip. If the Pies missed the 10 by 2 points, there might be some retrospective action looking, having a good look at this. But I would like the AFL, just from an integrity point of view, to actually go through it and say, this is what happened and this is what we're going to do about it.
Well, we've just got something put in our hands, Eddie. The AFL responds to claims of interchange breach in the Pies-Hawks draw. It says the league says there was no breach of the interchange rule in the final seconds of Collingwood's draw with Hawthorn in round 8. The AFL has moved to clarify an apparent siren controversy from the incident that occurred almost 4 weeks ago. The audio of the event suggesting Jack Gunston did not enter the field of play until after the final siren. So,
yeah, but that's complete nonsense. So this is what happens. Just because they put out a press release covering their ass doesn't mean it's right. Because they did count the Gunston interchange. What they're not saying there is they mucked it up in the first quarter. So, yeah, you're right. It did flick to 75, but it should have flicked to 76. So just read their own words. Read their own words, and always, when you're a good journalist, you damn them with the facts.
Yeah.
Now, this is an organisation who are doing cartwheels about integrity and betting and all these type of things. They got it wrong. Their person got it wrong. Now, they should come out and admit that. No one needs to die in a ditch over it. But as Richard Nixon found out the hard way, it's the cover-up that gets you, not the crime.
Yeah. How did the Pendles game finish off, mate? All went to plan and the like?
A lot of money made.
Again, guys, we spoke this last week. How wonderful was it? I mean, when you look back now and you go, Scott Pendlebury's game in the Anzac Day game was unbelievable. It's one of the great memories I'll ever have, seeing the whole crowd bowing to him and winning the Anzac Day medal. And then at the 10-minute mark on Saturday, it's just a game that really, no one would remember ever again. It becomes one of the most memorable moments ever that 90,000, Collingwood fans stood as one for Scott Pendlebury and the West Coast Eagles supporters that were there as well. It was something unbelievable. Now, whether Collingwood season does anything for the rest of the year, it doesn't matter. There's a moment in time, and it was absolutely spectacular. So, full marks to the Pies. Did a great job. People can say, was it over-commercialised? I don't care. No, it wasn't compulsory to buy anything, and it's flying off the shelves. I believe that a match ball sold for over $25,000 in Perth on the weekend for a charity. So, there's plenty of people out there who wanted to be part of it. It was a wonderful experience. And as a Pie and somebody who loves Scotty Pendlebury, it was a really emotional day, and I thought the club did it really well. It was great.
Did he head home in a Lexus or not?
Mate, the reason why he was able to play this was because he actually trained at the Lexus Centre, which was the centre of excellence that gave him the opportunity. And thanks to Lexus of Adelaide, that's where that good sponsorship money went to create a champion. So, hey, by the way, do you know the plug-in electric SUVs are coming online shortly? They are absolutely magnificent. So that's where you've got to go down to Lexus of Adelaide, get your new Lexus. So tonight, guys, seriously, big show tonight. James heard the questions will be put to him. It's the biggest story in football, and you'll see it exclusively tonight on Channel 9.
Well done, Eddie. Love your work.
Well done. Footy Classified.
You guys are the best. Good on you, boys. Fantastic. What do you reckon? One final question. Yeah. What do you reckon should happen with the interchange, Blake?
Nothing. 0.0.
I saw somebody say, well, Hawthorn shouldn't lose the 2 points and Collingwood should get 2, so Collingwood should get 4 and they should get 2.
Oh, no.
Split each way.
Let's just sweep it under the carpet like the AFL do. Done.
Exactly.
That's it. I mean, that's it. We need more of those things to happen because Adelaide don't get stitched up enough by the AFL.
Good one.
Brilliant. Thanks, Eddie.
It's what happens,
Appreciate your time, mate.
If you let it go through, they'll do it every time. Good on you, boys. Have a great one.
See you, buddy.
Eddie Maguire, all thanks to Lexus and also Harvey Norman Clearance Centre. From cooking appliances to washing machines, dishwashers, TVs and more, there's stock arriving weekly. Harvey Norman Clearance Centre, 919 Marion Road, Marion.
And just on the Scott Pendlebury match-worn jumper that's on auction at the moment, $101,000 is the current bid.
Wow.
It's extraordinary how much is being put onto that jumper itself,
so
and
when
lots of other jumpers too. I think it's in a day or two.
Oh, okay.
It's only for a week up. Closing date, 28th of May. So you got time, 2 more days if you're keen. It's 23 after 5. Let's check your traffic.
Mawson Lakes, really big delays with a 5-car crash at Elder Smith Road and Main North Road. Regency Park, delays clearing from an earlier crash, Regency Road near South Road. Sluggish, Glen Osmond Road at Fullerton Road. Busy, Marion Road, Marion with a Camera Boulevard Road, Burton. It's time to get back to Faster Pasta, where everyone can enjoy their favourites. For good times and great food, dine in at Faster Pasta and treat yourself to a night off. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
The 5AA Sports Show, Rowey and Timmy G. He's one of the most decorated AFL players in recent history.
Bartel.
Catch Cats Premiership legend Jimmy Bartel talking footy each week with Rowey and Timmy G. Thanks to Statesman Windows, Adelaide's most trusted boutique window company. SA family owned and operated since 1980.
Don't just get a forklift, get a Toyota forklift.
Right now, there's never been a better time to buy a new forklift from Toyota Material Handling. Score great end of financial year deals across a selected range of new Toyota electric pallet jacks and counterbalance forklifts currently in stock. Stacked with legendary reliability and productivity and ready to deliver outstanding end of financial year value. For more, visit toyotamaterialhandling.com.au.
Get a Toyota forklift.
Terms and conditions apply. Offer ends June 30.
You can rent a little, you can rent a lot.
You can rely on Red Spot to keep Aussie airport rentals fair. We're the only car rental company who have kept our prices low during the fuel crisis. And we're the only Aussie-owned and operated choice in major airport terminals all over the country. Experience the local service that saw us named Product Review's 2026 Car Hire Service of the Year. For a deal you can rely on, book your next rental direct at redspot.com.au today or call 1300 66 8810.
Red Spot.
Last September, the Optus 000 outage meant some Australians couldn't reach emergency services. We want you to know that we're introducing new measures to strengthen Optus's 000 service, including a dedicated team for 24/7 monitoring, expanding automated call testing, and improved escalation processes to identify issues faster. We're also working with other telcos, phone manufacturers, and government to further improve 000 for everyone. Building a stronger Optus? We're on it.
God, it comes around quick, doesn't it? The first big deadline is midnight this Friday. Get your tickets for the Hospital Research Foundation Home Lottery now to automatically enter for the early bird draw for $500,000.
Yummy, yummy, yummy. Now, a lot of freedom from one little ticket. Someone will win big. Why not you? It's got to be. You've got to be in it to win it, that old line.
So get your ticket now at homelottery.com.au and you'll stay in for all remaining draws, including the $4 million grand prize, single ever luxury living at West Beach. And I know that for a fact. It's beautiful there.
Yeah, plus it's a guaranteed win for your community, supporting life-changing healthcare right here for South Australians like you.
Yeah, well, there you go. $500,000 is online, early bird deadline, midnight this Friday. Get your tickets now at homelottery.com.au.
Hey, I'm James, claims manager at Allianz. This isn't always the call you want to make, but when you do, you'll reach our team who know exactly what to do next. That's why we're trusted by over 4.5 million Aussies.
Allianz. Selling a home always comes with questions. What's it worth? How long will it take? What do buyers think? That's why Harcourts is back in Port Adelaide. Their promise is simple: constant, clear communication and answers to your questions. Start with a free, no-obligation appraisal, and if your property has potential for subdivision, they can help you explore that too. Selling in the West? Start with a team at Harcourts Port Adelaide, Largs Bay. That'll be Callum with an update. Hey, mate.
Rowey and Timmy G, the 5AA Sports Show.
27 minutes after 5, mid-season draft begins in just over half an hour, so a lot to speak about there with the Crows with one list spot free, Port Adelaide with 3, so some new players set to be acquired very shortly tonight. And catch your Adelaide Thunderbirds to take on the Melbourne Vixens on Saturday at the Entertainment Centre by heading to adelaidethunderbirds.com.au or call in now. We've got a double pass to give away, 8223 0055.
Yeah, well, Leicester have moved on their coach, Brad Scott. One win in the last 24 games will do it. One win this year will do it, and 10 losses. Was it the right call? Love your calls, 8223 0000. Since Sheeds, listen to these numbers: 6 coaches, a supplement saga, 5 finals games, no wins, a wooden spoon, and right now they're stone motherless last. It's a whole
it's not a great picture, is it? No.
Hello, Andy.
G'day, boys. How are you?
Yeah, good.
Well, this, I'd have to say, we woke up to that news this morning, and my young daughter won't even watch Essendon at the moment. She's a massive Essendon fan, I told her. We both jumped around the house with joy.
Okay.
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
What do you reckon, Andrew, from here? What do you reckon?
30.
Yep.
Yeah, definitely. That's... Yeah.
And give us your view as a Bomber supporter, why that appointment will help change all the fortunes of the club.
I was asked this question the other day, actually. Well, one, he did really well when he was there. He qualified for 3 final series. 1 got taken off us, and then Bomber took us to 1, which we lost, as you said in that previous bit there.
Yep.
But we went in the right direction, Timmy. Like there was structure at the club. The boys were playing for the coach, and we haven't had that since. And I know that they said, I know Welshie was asked that about in the presser today, like a bit of a boys' club kind of thing. But he's like, well, you look at Sammy Mitchell's gone back to Hawthorn, doing well. Josh Carr here, and you know Josh is putting his stamp on Port, but you can see that system there.
And is it the universal love of James Hird at Essendon? You reckon that helps?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Like, wouldn't you? You'd have to get a spring in your step by seeing Hirdy at training, wouldn't you?
But he oversaw the supplement saga. He let
I know,
Steve
Rowey.
Dake into your club, Andrew.
I know, and
You're very forgiving.
Well, it is James Hird, but I think at the time, yeah, look, there's no condoning that at all. Like, it was most definitely the wrong thing. But
if he said no,
I think
he said no, Andrew, who would you go for if he said no?
If Hirdy said no,
Hirdy says no tonight with Eddie. He says, "Nah, I'm not going back." Who would you like to come to you?
Well, I don't think any of the coaches are out there at the moment. Like, we're just going through the same recycled.
Yeah.
Patch. I was hearing something about Matty Egan. There's some good raps on him, and there was another one from Geelong.
Yeah.
Corey Enright.
Well, it's a big job, isn't it? Right from here, so well, it's in their hands.
What an Andrew!
Thank you,
Welsh,
Andrew.
He seemed pretty strong on it. So,
and just for the record, James Hird had 4 seasons at Essendon, but he only made one final series and they lost that one game. So that's his record to this point. It's time for the 5:30 headlines. We'll talk to Tasmanian Devils head of recruiting and a long time, 21 years at the Collingwood Football Club as a recruiter, Derek Hine, as he steps into the new role, and of course the mid-season draft tonight.
Rowey and Timmy G, the 5AA Sports Show. This is 5AA News, always Adelaide.
Good evening, Mel Usher with the 5:30 News headlines. Star Group investigating the disappearance of 4-year-old Gus Lamont have returned to the state's north. Balfour's frog cakes are South Australian once again, with the bakery returning to a local owner. 2 people have been arrested in Victoria over the movements of cop killer Desi Freeman after he evaded police for 7 months. And in sport, the AFL mid-season draft is on tonight. Now checking 5AA traffic.
Afternoon at Mawson Lakes, a 5-car crash still getting cleaned up at the moment. Elder Smith Road at Main North Road, still pretty sluggish through there. In the Parklands, a breakdown just popped up. Fullerton Road near Greenhill Road, delays all around through there and getting busy for the drive home Anzac Highway, the Marine Road intersection. Camera, Kings Road, Paralawi, and got one right now, May Terrace at Lockleys. Test drive and buy a Mahindra XUV 700 and get a complimentary $5,000 fuel card. Only available at participating dealers. T's and C's at mahindra.com.au. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
The 5AA forecast down to 10 tonight, a shower or 2 tomorrow, 19. Right now it's 14 degrees. We'll have more news at 6 on 5AA, always Adelaide.
There's a program on Insight and SBS this week about the rise of One Nation.
David Penberthy and Will Goodings.
And there's this guy in the crowd who just looks like a normal knockabout bloke. And he's asked, what do you think of One Nation's policies and agenda, and do you actually know what they are?
5AA Breakfast.
And he just looks at the camera and goes, well, it couldn't be worse than anything we've got now.
Adelaide's leading breakfast show.
And that's a really hard argument to counter.
Weekdays from 6 a.m. on 5AA, always Adelaide.
Mate, it was so easy. Drop the car into Automasters. Next thing, I get a video on my phone.
AutoCam. It's new from Automasters.
The service advisor is there live doing a real-time report on my car.
Real-time video sent direct to you from your Automasters technician.
He shows me the problem, makes a recommendation, and look, there's the quote.
So good. Totally transparent, instant SMS approval, and Automasters pay later options.
AutoCam. The future of vehicle servicing here now. Call 1300 Automasters.
Is stress draining your energy, wearing down your immunity and leaving you feeling exhausted? Are you struggling to keep up with your day? Introducing Caruso's 8 Mushrooms Complex. Caruso's 8 Mushrooms Complex contains 8 mushrooms plus astragalus, which is traditionally used in Western herbal medicine to help the body adapt to stress, promote energy levels, relieve tiredness and support your immune system. So if you're ready to take control of your day, try Caruso's 8 Mushrooms Complex today from leading pharmacies and health stores. Always read the label and follow the directions for use.
You might not see poverty, but it follows 8-year-old Max to school every day. Despite his hard work and the support of teachers, living in poverty is holding Max back, impacting his reading and his maths. Imagine trying your best, but it just doesn't feel enough. We can't let this happen. You can help Australian children like Max get the extra learning support they need. Donate to the Smith family today.
Listen. On eBay, you keep more of what you earn because it's now free to sell your thing.
Well, all right.
No transaction fees on your sales, not available to pro sellers. See full terms on eBay.
Finding your next Volkswagen? That part's easy. And right now, you don't have to wait. Mawson Lakes Volkswagen's end of financial year unlocked event is on right now. So you can jump in early and get first pick from a huge range of new and demo Volkswagens ready for delivery. Plenty of colours, plenty of options. On-site finance, next day servicing. No waiting, no missing out. End of financial year unlocked event ends June 30. Mawson Lakes Volkswagen, just a short drive from the city.
I booked the car into Automasters. Next thing, there's a video on my phone.
Shows me the problem, makes a recommendation, and look, there's the quote.
So good. Totally transparent, instant SMS approval, and Automasters pay later options.
AutoCam, new from Automasters.
The 5AA Sports Show with Rowey and Timmy G.
Luckily or unfortunately, we have a game on Sunday that we got to gear up for, and we'll go out there on Sunday night in Perth and expect to win and expect to get a good result. The boys are really aligned to that. The boys are sort of unsurprisingly a little bit shocked today, as you always are, but yeah, we just have to tie our boots together and get on with it.
That's Andy McGrath speaking earlier today on his coach Brad Scott, who has been sacked as they prepare for another game this weekend. Dean Solomon is the interim coach.
There you go. As Tasmania build their way towards the entry into the AFL in 2028, they've got to get a list together. And they've got a few benefits to do that. They've got a couple of bucks to go around.
Don't say a few benefits. The best concessions in the history of the game.
Well, they're going to do it with one of the guys that's got incredible experience after 21 years of building Collingwood's lists. Derek Hine joins us as the Tasmanian head of recruiting. G'day, Derek.
G'day, boys. How are you?
How do you feel about the gig? I mean, it must be pretty exciting. There, like Rowey's saying, there's a fair bag of goodies to sort of get your teeth into.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. We've certainly got the keys to the cookie jar. But having said that, as you guys have sort of alluded to, I've been around a little while, and I was part of the GWS and the Gold Coast Working Party that was more from the AFL side of things to be able to implement the concessions for those two franchises. And what we're able to do is to be able to negotiate them over 2 years in terms of the 17-year-olds, and just taking little bits and pieces from lessons learned from the Gold Coast and the GWS, which has been beneficial. But at the same time, I really feel that it was really important that when the concessions landed, now whichever way they were, is that we don't have to keep going back to the well, so to speak, because I think clubs are understanding of what it's about and the reasons why we need to build the list. But when you keep coming back with your tap out and wanting more picks and so on, I think then it becomes a little bit problematic for everyone.
What would you say, the Tasmanian flavour? How are you going to go about building that? I think there's roughly 16 guys that are Tasmanian born in the AFL as we currently sit, but I would imagine developing that talent would be an absolute focus in Tasmania, but also being able to get some Tasmanian talent back, but then you're going to have to go outside of that, aren't you?
Yeah, obviously. So, I mean, we've got 4 or 5 different pillars of acquisition, and, the one that is critically important for us is clearly our Tasmanian-based talent, and we're really fortunate that we've got a couple of young lads that are coming through our now academy, which was we really put together pretty quickly, and I think it was really important. Matty Knight's heading that up for us. You guys all obviously know Matty, and he's had an enormous amount of experience within the industry, and he's doing a great job down there. And one thing that's become really evident in a really short period of time is the lack of exposure to all the boys and girls down in Tassie to elite programs and standards. So it's going to take a little bit of time, but we're starting to add the layers to that. And as I said, we've got 2 or 3 boys down there that are looking really good. And they sit outside our 12, 17-year-olds per se.
How tough was it to make the move, Derek? What were your considerations?
I just felt that the opportunity is really unique. I mean, I wouldn't envisage there would be too many different franchises coming into the AFL, and there's a lot of talk about Darwin and the NT and so on, but whether that eventuates or not. But one thing that's become really evident in a really, really short period of time is the state and the passion for the game. I mean, our first, as you guys would probably be aware, we're in the VFL, and Our first VFL game at North Hobart Oval against Coburg had 11,500 people, and they locked 4,000 out.
Wow.
We played the Anzac Day game. We played Carlton at Bellreeve, and we had 14,500. So it's just, I suppose the best way to put it, there's already a live ecosystem down there, if you understand where I'm going with it.
Absolutely.
And it has been a real sell that we've opened up the membership. So as you guys know, we had the initial expressions of interest with the membership, which was $10 a pop thereabouts, and then we've opened up the real membership base now. And I think it was on the first day of trading, we sold over 11,000 members, which was in excess of what both GWS and Gold Coast had in the first year in the competition. So that's a bit of an indication of the.
Well, they love their footy.
Absolutely, absolutely. So it's really exciting.
Okay, the $5 million signing bonus, Derek, is that Nick Dacos's to lose?
Cool.
You've got an in. Come on.
Well, I have got the in, but I don't think the planets are going to align there, Rowey. It's going to be a little bit problematic just where his contract sits and all those sorts of things. But I think it's great to bring. Obviously, it's going to be at the forefront of our minds to be able to bring elite talent into the organisation. That goes without saying. But what is critically important for us is to be able to really nail our pre-listing picks. So we'll have access to the best 12, 17-year-olds in the country, because that's where our elite talent's going to come from, and through the draft concessions and so on. And there's the other thing too is that there is what we've tried to build into the concessions is there actually is levers for the rest of the competition to be able to access our picks. So I think that's really unique in the way that we've done that, and those clubs that have a real understanding of the draft and the mechanisms and the trade period are already looking at how they can potentially access those picks, because although it's sort of with the 12, 17-year-olds, I think there's a little bit of a conversation that it's over 2 years, but it's really only 18 months. So we've got the full 2026, so 1 January through to 31 December. So we can take up to 8 players, 8 17-year-olds, or 4, so minimum 4, maximum 8. And then the balance will be taken the following year. But next year, which are 2010 birth dates, we've got from the 1st of January to the 30th of June. So we've only got half the year next year. So following that, so 1 July through to 31 December, that's open to the mini draft. Okay. So we can trade 2 of those 17-year-old access, if you like, and you're talking about young Tudafidis and these types of guys that are sitting there, and so there's a lot of opportunities for other AFL clubs to be able to get in, and what it will do for us is to be able to give us the opportunity to stay in the draft for the short to medium term.
So from January 26, a 17-year-old, you can get them. So could you get your hands on Dougie Cochran?
No. He's top age this year. So we're basically 17-year-olds.
Okay.
So 2009 birth dates.
Okay.
Just trying to upset me, Derek. That's all. Hey, Derek, what about father-son? Like, what's on the horizon? I heard the revolt. I reckon he's got at least one son. Nick has, I think.
Yeah. That's not my wheelhouse. We've got
fair enough.
We've got a lot of guys sort of working around that space, but yeah, we definitely have access to Tasmania and sort of played. I think it's 100 games in the AFL and a certain amount of games down in Tassie. So it's almost like having, remember Nick Blakey was Sydney and also North.
Yep.
Academy versus.
Gotcha.
So not dissimilar to that.
Yeah, gotcha. What about one thing I reckon challenge-wise for yourselves in your department would be, and you would have this experience from Collingwood, is how important it is to keep your focus on what you guys are doing when there's going to be a lot of noise outside about, the stadium's not ready and, we have to play a game here and we have to play a game north and all that business that'll be going on.
Yep.
You guys have got to sort of almost put the cotton buds in the ears and just keep focused on what you're doing?
Oh, look, to a certain extent. I mean, the market has been really positive for us. With the 17-year-olds, we've started that interview process already, and there's a genuine feel of excitement. And one thing that I've been a little bit taken back by is that how much these athletes are communicating amongst themselves.
Yeah, right.
So, if I might talk to a young fella in Melbourne, and he's talking to a similar athlete in Western Australia. Oh, yeah, I was talking to Joe, and we'd love to come down together. And this, I was going, geez,
wow.
It's certainly showing my age there, I dare say. But yeah, so it's they're all sort of mixing through socials and that. So, but the stadium basically starts next month. The civil works are starting, and they're moving the shed. So that's already in progress, which is really pleasing. I think that was announced today.
Derek Hine, our guest, revered recruiter and list manager. You can't build a list without the direction of a senior coach, because every senior coach would have a different, eye on what he wants. Some might want left-footers, some might want people to make good decisions under pressure, some might want good kickers, etc. So you're going to have to work close with that person. So how soon will you get him?
Oh, look, again...
And you do agree, don't you?
Oh, of course, yeah. And I think that one thing from our perspective is that it is hugely exciting for us. And you guys have been in the game a hell of a lot longer than what I have. And is that the shifts in the game in the last 6 months has been more than I've ever seen in my time in the game, that's for sure.
100%.
So there is lists within the within the AFL that through no fault of their own, there's a percentage of the list where players are basically redundant. Just because of their own physical makeup per se and where they play. The rucks is a perfect example, and there's others clearly. But so what we're able to do is build a total list, a whole list from the ground up that is applicable to the modern game, and that's going to be hugely advantageous to us. So that in itself is really exciting, and. Obviously the coach and then the football manager will all come into play and we start to put the pieces together.
Yeah. Just as a quick philosophy, if there's two kids equal, there's one that just can find the ball, use the ball, but he can't get D50, F50, D50, F50. He can't run. But this other rooster can just get up and back and up and back at an elite speed. He's what we call an athlete. Which one you picking?
I think this game lends itself to all shapes and sizes. But I think at the moment there is a level of bias to runners.
Yes.
And that's just the way the game has evolved.
Yeah.
And that's where I really feel with the rucks, it's just so critically important, because even if you see how McAndrew's going around at Adelaide, he's getting some real width on the ball, gets it to space, so you need quick feet to be able to get out and away you go. Yeah. So, just that in itself has virtually changed the game. Yeah. Darcy Cameron this time last year was ranked number 3 in the competition. Now he's around about 18, 19. So
wow.
There's those sorts of things that have sort of really shifted in a really, really short period of time. And, we're obviously all over that. And as I say, we can build a list that's going to be applicable to the new game, which is really unique.
Well done. Just don't go reaching in too deep to that cookie drawer, because right down the bottom of the shit ones. I mean, sorry, not so good ones.
Yeah. Oh, look, it's really exciting, guys, and I think that what we really want to do is be able to bring a list together. It's going to be attractive in terms of the way that we play and how we go about it, and I don't think it's going to be any. It's not going to be too hard to bring the punter through the gates downstairs. In fact, that we were talking the other day, that they're saying that there's going to be a really high percentage of Tasmanians that are going to have to actually travel to the mainland to watch us play because of the stadium, which is, in terms of we can't fit them all in.
Wow. Yeah, it's true. Exciting times ahead. I'm pretty sure you'll have a lot of suitors for the coaching positions as well. So sounds great, Derek. You're doing a good job, and keep it up.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me.
That's the Tasmanian head of recruiting, Derek Hine. So
it was a loaded question, that running one.
Yes, I knew that.
On the back of Pendlebury's just broken the record and couldn't run.
Yeah. Well,
I know what I'm picking. I'm picking the
He
footballer.
wouldn't have done the times that would impress at a pre-season camp or whatever. Yeah,
I'm picking the footballer.
You always are.
It's fine art. 10 minutes to 6 on this Tuesday night. Let's check your traffic.
Still got big delays in Mawson Lakes. A 5-car crash, Elder Smith Road at Main North Road in the Parklands. Breakdown, Fullerton Road near Greenhill Road. Really big delays all round there. Slow going at the moment, South Road, Tonsley. Quite busy, Tapleys Hill Road, Glenelg North with the Canberra Port, Wakefield Road, Jeps Cross. Zero immigration, pensions up by 30%. Abolish student debt. Double the health budget. Newdeal.au, newdeal.au. Authorised by Clive Palmer for the United Australia Party Gold Coast. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Rowey and Timmy G, the 5AA Sports Show.
Right now, you're one step closer to driving away in Lexus luxury. The Lexus of Adelaide end of financial year event is on now. Receive exceptional value on all new and demonstrator models in stock, including the exhilarating NX and RX plug-in hybrid. The Lexus of Adelaide end of financial year event on now. LVD 2009.
Whether you're kicking goals today or your prime was back in the day, you can rely on complete comfort every night. Their beds are built with active zones you can adjust in seconds to ensure your body gets the right support and you can get a more restful sleep. They look like your average bed, but they're far from average. And if you're regularly being sent off for snoring, it can help you with that too. Visit CompleteComfort.com.au or visit the Wayville showroom to experience complete comfort beds for yourself.
Rosanna Mangiarelli here on 7 News, why police have launched a new search for Gus Lamont. South Aussies cop a power price hike while other states are better off. The push to keep kids off phones for longer, plus the plan to permanently honour Neil Danaher.
A full bottle of LPG? That's useful. 3 bottles? Even more useful. Your first 3 bottles of LPG for $99 each with delivery from Origin? That's all kinds of useful. Sign up by 30 September, only in selected areas. Equipment fee and T's and C's supply.
Here at 5AA, we're all about supporting local. Here's who you can support around Adelaide. Donate to SAMRI and help fund breakthrough research tackling fatty plaque and heart disease. Visit samri.org.au to find out more. Mannix is a name you know and trust for everything in air conditioning. With a huge range, unbeatable prices and the right advice, nobody beats Mannix. 5AA, supporting local business.
A year of roadside assistance is now included with eligible NRMA car insurance policies in South Australia, whether you're a new customer or an existing customer renewing your policy, because that's what a help company would do. Renew your eligible policy or get a quote today at nrma.com.au/SA roadside. SA risk addresses only. Excludes CTP and classic car insurance. Offer may be withdrawn at any time. Always read the PDS. PDS and T&Ds available from NRMA Insurance. 12 months of everyday care roadside assistance provided by National Roads and Motorists Association Limited. Trading as NRMA. Separate and independent from NRMA Insurance.
If you're a landlord, it's crucial to have a good property manager on your side. Like McGain Property Management. The kind of property manager that works hard to find out if it's an emergency or just a leaky tap. That's what good property managers do. They communicate with the tenant, liaise with you, they get it sorted, saving you money. McGain Property Management. Kylie and the team are only a phone call away.
Rowey and Timmy G, the 5AA Sports Show.
Yeah, look, I think that there is, but the skill set is identifying what it is that the attributes are that you're looking for and how they fit into the system and the environment that you are looking to create, the profile of the organisation, how to amplify their skill set and cover their weaknesses. There's no perfect coach. The idea that one person comes in and they're the answer to all the problems that are there is totally ridiculous.
So that's Joe Watson speaking about what Essendon need to do to find their next coach. And I've just been reading Channel 7 tonight on the agenda set as Brad Scott is on the show. So we'll hear from Brad Scott tonight on Channel 7. That'll be an interesting chat.
That'll be good. And he'll be very measured. He'll be very statesmanlike.
Well, we'll find out, won't we?
What he really thinks.
Oh, I think he'll say what he thinks. I think he'll say.
Okay, so he'll say they planted Dean Solomon. I was dead man walking.
No, I think he'll probably give you an insight into what he believes is not right in his thoughts. So that's well worth a look. There's no doubt about that.
Well done. Hello, Ash.
Hey!
Hey, Ash.
Whoa.
Right, look, let's just, from the first dot, I'm not going to be fair to Brad here.
That's fine. Go for it.
He is the most overrated coach I've ever seen. His record stands at 135 wins and 155 plus losses. He's a two-faced man. He North Melbourne did everything, complained about everything. Then he went to the AFL as what I can't remember his role there, and said nothing to see here. Everything's good. Everything's great. Goes back to Essendon, and then cries poor again. Still with a failure. So he's been in the outside of football now, like of playing for 20 years or 16, 17 years. He's not a good coach. A lot flat out, simple. I don't know where. Look, and it's not coaching is not for everyone. I think his brother was just lucky. He came into Geelong at a time where that team was so good, it didn't need a coach. He's learnt along the way, and now I give Chris Scott his dues. Like he's got a plan, but Brad Scott is not a coach's behind.
Took North Melbourne to 2 prelims when they were crap. I mean, honestly, that's a bit
they were
rich,
crap
Ash.
because they had good players to get to those. They couldn't get past that prelim.
He took
in the
over
last
from
few
Dean
years.
Laidley when they were 13th, and then he built the list up to be in back-to-back prelims. I don't know how he went in those. I'd love to look them up, but no, that's harsh. That's a harsh comment.
Yeah, I understand the frustration of an Essendon supporter. Yeah, the Essendon supporters have going, oh come on, man, 1 win in 24. We got to get out of this. But it is that more whole of club. What would you say? That's the real crux of what they got to get right. And to Eddie's point, and I know sometimes Eddie can praise Collingwood and the like and all the rest of it. But when he did get there, they weren't going that flash, and he changed the business model, and then he went out and used his ability to go and get high-end sponsorship like Lexus and the like. So he went out and did all that. So he got what his role was to get off-field in order, and he got the off-field in order. And if there was any sort of fractions going on, he slapped it out. And I think they've got to be able to, and if Welsh is the man to be able to do that for Essendon, then he's going about it on the right path. Get all that right, get it all aligned, and you can recover quickly because they are such a large supporter base and can get the same with Carlton. You can get yourself back on track quickly if you get those little elements in place. It's not easy, but if you're on that same page and you have a really good leadership, then you can do it.
Yeah, well said.
Have you say 8223 0000. In a couple of minutes, the AFL mid-season draft will begin. So in the next half hour, stick around, Crows and Port supporters. We'll have the new recruits that'll be joining your club.
The 5AA Sports Show, Rowey and Timmy G.
Last September, the Optus 000 outage meant some Australians couldn't reach emergency services. We're introducing a range of new measures to help strengthen Optus's 000 service, like a dedicated team for 24/7 monitoring. Building a stronger Optus? We're on it.
Finding your next Volkswagen? That part's easy. And right now, you don't have to wait. Mawson Lakes Volkswagen's end of financial year unlocked event is on right now. So you can jump in early and get first pick from a huge range of new and demo Volkswagens ready for delivery. Plenty of colours, plenty of options. On-site finance, next day servicing. No waiting, no missing out. End of financial year unlocked event ends June 30. Mawson Lakes Volkswagen, just a short drive from the city.
Tech troubles? Don't stress. Geeks to You offers data recovery, digital security, Wi-Fi fixes and computer setup nationwide. Book a 1-hour tech service with confidence. No fix, no fee. Geeks to You, part of Officeworks.
City Discount Tires.
Get saving now with City Discount Tires. We're offering great deals on the world's top brands in tyres, wheels, suspension and parts. Suitable for four-wheel drives, SUVs and passenger cars, including Falcon, Michelin, Pirelli, Kumho, Hankook and many more. Finance options available. Search citydiscounttires.com.au and locate your nearest dealer today. City Discount Tires. We're driven by value.
The global fuel shortage is affecting us all, and we each have our part to play. Simple actions like pumping up your tyres, removing things you don't need from the boot, running more errands in fewer trips, and only filling up with the fuel you need can help make our supply go further and save fuel for our truckies, farmers, and essential services. Every little bit helps. For more fuel-saving tips, visit fuelplan.gov.au. Authorised by the Australian Government, Canberra.
You may have heard Rowey and Timmy talking about Matt from Avis Truck Rental Adelaide. He runs the depot and he's big on helping people out. If you need a vehicle to move things or people, Matt has it covered. From single and dual cab utes, 4x4s with canopies and tray tops, to small and large vans and 12 to 22 seat buses for short or long-term hire. Ask for Matt's 5AA mates rates. Visit avis.com.au or call 8241 5200.
Up to the minute news for South Australia. This is 5AA News. Always Adelaide.
Down to 10 tonight, a shower or two tomorrow, 19. With the 6 o'clock news, I'm Mel Usher. More ISIS brides arrived in Australia this afternoon, landing in Melbourne and Sydney. The 7 women and 12 children left their camp in northern Syria last week and were issued with their passports. Unlike the group who arrived earlier this month, this cohort is not expected to face arrest. A fresh police search got underway today near Yunta in the state's north for missing 4-year-old Gus Lamont. He disappeared last September and it's been declared a major crime. Hannah Ford from 7 News explains why a new search has been launched at Oak Park Station.
There has been floodwaters in that area and now they've finally subsided. So it's hoped that some dirt or parts of creeks have moved and there might be, I guess, unearthing of some sort of evidence.
Balfour's is SA owned once again. Unique Homestyle Foods has bought the bakery from the WA company who took ownership 3 years ago. The move securing more than 400 local jobs. Victorian officers have arrested 2 men in relation to the movements of police killer Desi Freeman. More from Brian Wilson.
The pair, aged 48 and 35, were arrested at different locations in the state's northeast as officers continue to probe how the fugitive spent 7 months on the run before he was killed in a shootout with police on March 30. The extensive operation previously interviewed 2 other people. They were subsequently released. Anyone found guilty of harbouring a fugitive faces a lengthy jail penalty under Victorian law. The arrests come a day after 2 coronial inquiries commenced in relation to Freeman and the fatal shooting of the 2 police officers at Porpunka last August.
The federal government claims a rising renewables take-up has helped produce a fall in electricity bills. From July, the energy regulator is reducing the maximum rate retailers can charge business and households. It means power prices are set to fall across the east coast, but the only price rise is in South Australia for some households to cop a small increase. Energy Minister Chris Bowen says renewable subsidies have contributed to the decline.
It's no coincidence that 50% renewables and 414,396 home batteries installed under the cheaper home batteries policy, which are reducing prices for them, but for everyone.
Airlines, cruise ship lines and regional councils have slammed the federal government's latest tax hit on tourists. From January next year, travellers leaving Australia by land or sea will be slugged with an $80 departure tax. That's a rise of $10. The extra cost is already flowing through to advanced ticket prices. Now turning to 5AA sport, and Dean Solomon has stepped into the role of interim coach following Brad Scott's departure from Essendon. It comes on the back of speculation Zach Merritt could again ask for a trade out of the club. But President Andrew Welsh has doubled down on keeping Merritt, stating the club is not going to be pushed around anymore.
He's a contracted player. He's been enormous for our group. The protection on field that he's been able to provide throughout the year, the work that he's done with our younger players. We are clear in our direction and we're clear with our strategy and what we need to do to push this football club forward again.
An injury update from Port today. Miles Bergman is recovering well from surgery on his big toe. Lockie Jones is expected to exit concussion protocols this week after missing the game against Carlton. Jack Lukosius will be assessed for a return to play after the bye. And Vegemite has unveiled a limited edition jar featuring Aussie sprint sensation Gout Gout. The spread has been renamed after the athlete. Now checking 5AA traffic.
Mawson Lake still got delays from that 5-car crash earlier this afternoon. Elders-Smith Road at Main North Road. Delays clearing from a breakdown in the Parklands, Fullerton Road near the Greenhill Road area. And a little bit busy at the moment at Parahurst West for Works, Bridge Road near Somerset Road. Camera, May Terrace, Lockleys. Get half price off RRP on Blackmores at Chemist Warehouse. Yes, half price Blackmores. Hurry, ends Wednesday, excludes bulk sizes. Chemist Warehouse, great savings every day. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Now the 5AA forecast.
Get the Toyota Forklift Advantage. Visit toyotamaterialhandling.com.au.
Down to 10 tonight, a shower or two for your Wednesday, 19. Thursday, partly cloudy, 18. Friday, showers increasing, 19. Right now, it's 13 degrees. Now let's hear what's happening on 9 News tonight.
Brenton Radless.
We begin tonight with breaking news.
With the news that matters to you.
The government insists it's a win for the state's economy.
9 News is covering the stories that matter to South Australians.
Brazen daylight firebombing attack at the Torrensville supermarket.
Adelaide is your city. 9 is your news.
Streaming live via the 5AA Player app on DAB Digital Radio and on 1395 AM. This is 5AA, always Adelaide. Rowey and Timmy G, the 5AA Sports Show.
We wish all our players, that's AFL's the dream, all the best. I guess it's a lot of time and effort from a club's perspective goes into building a list that is competitive, and when you do lose 1, 2 or 3 players in the middle of the season, it crucifies you.
That's Keenan Ramsey, the CEO of North Adelaide, and the mid-season draft, which has just kicked off. Port Adelaide have picked 5. We're up to pick 3 right now, so we'll get you the updates as they come along. But what an amazing journey it has been for Australia in the America's Cup in the past. We all know the story. Let's have a listen.
Stand up, Australia. Stand up, Australia, and give these boys a cheer. We are looking for the smoke at any moment. They're about to do it. They're about to cross the line. They make a final move.
Yeah, one of the greatest sporting moments in Australian history, no doubt about that. A man that was involved and is now going to return. For the first time in 26 years, Australia's going to have a crack at the America's Cup. And we speak none other, and excitingly, to Grant Simmer, who was a part of that original team. Grant, hello. You are the Chief Executive of Team Australia.
Yeah, that's me. How are you guys?
Excellent. Now, tell us, how did this all come about? Because it's sort of come off the radar for a lot of us.
Yeah, the last time Australia was in the America's Cup was in 2000.
Right.
When we had a team called Young Australia.
Right.
Which young Jimmy Spittle, a famous Australian sailor, was 18 years old and he steered the boat. And a guy from Sydney, Sid Fisher, was the owner. And it was kind of a low-budget deal, but it gave a lot of young guys a chance in the Cup. And I've been working in the Cup, well, since Australia too, so that's more than 40 years, sadly, guys. And I've been overseas since 2000, working either managing design teams or managing the whole team. I've been manager for the Swiss, the Americans, and the British for a couple of campaigns.
Yeah, Grant, they got you down here as a 4-time America's Cup winner, so that's obviously the other countries that you were with and involved in when they won.
Yeah, that's right. Twice with the Swiss and once with the Americans.
Wow, what was better? The Swiss.
Well, you can't. Well, Australia too was
the best. Yeah, without a doubt. Oh God, what a moment!
But the first one with the Swiss was really good as well. Really good.
Yeah, it's exciting stuff, no doubt about that. I mean, we unbolted it. That was the whole thing. And there's a great Netflix special, I think, called The Race of the Century in their Untold section.
Untold story.
That is the best doco I've seen in a long time. It's so good, and I'm really pleased that that's now put down as history so that we can always go back and reference it at that moment. It was just an incredible time, wasn't it?
I mean, even our kids, you know, we've got two girls in their mid-30s and they watch it and go, oh, we never realised it was like that.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it was.
Well, staggering. And you know, I was a 17-year-old when we won it. And to go back and watch it, I know what was sort of happening in and around and the great Bob Hawke with his statement, but it was more so when going back and looking how many times they tried to just nobble us, you know, like they pulled it out the water, they put it up in the air, they tried to copy it, they could make changes, but we couldn't. It was unbelievable.
Yeah, there was a fair bit going on, but yeah, they figured they owned it after 132 years, and they were making the rules all the way along.
You're not wrong.
Poor old Benny Lexton, famously Benny Lexton, it really took its toll on his health.
What's then what I'm interested in now is it's 43 years since we won it. How's it all changed, and is it not as bad as it once was as far as that, you know, the rule stuff goes, but is it a better sport now than it was 43 years ago, and how's it changed?
That's a really huge question.
It would be.
The rules are much more regulated, and all the teams are involved in the rules.
Great,
so it's definitely a more even playing field than it was.
That's great.
But, you know, now we're designing boats that foil the whole race. So they go up to 50 knots.
Wow.
And dear old Australia, too, it was a big day if you ever did 10 knots in that boat.
That's phenomenal. Wow. That is a massive change.
Completely different technology.
And different sailing?
Oh, yeah. Well, you know, I was a navigator, right, on Australia too.
Yep.
So the time limit for a race was 5 hours.
Yeah.
So, you know, people could have a nap during the race and come back and watch it.
Yeah.
A bit like watching, you know, cricket, like a test match in cricket.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can have a nap.
Nap and come back to it. Yeah. Well, I had two. I had two mates. They slept through rest day.
But now the time limit's 24 minutes.
Right. Wow. That is incredible.
You know, the boats are ripping around the course. We've got boundaries. That's kind of, you know, how life has changed in that period of time.
Whereabouts is it going to be raced?
Naples.
Right.
Italy.
Old Napoli. Yeah.
Yeah, Napoli.
In Italy. Wow. And
yeah.
And what?
So we're building a base there. Well, we've just let a contractor build a base there, and we've got to relocate about 70 people to Naples all around the end of the year, early next year.
Right.
And we'll live there for 6 months.
Wow. And the event will take place in what month?
It starts on the 21st of May, 27, like 2027.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And the Cup should be over by the end of, by mid-July. It'll be over.
Wow. That's amazing stuff. So for us coming back in, I was going to say, are we behind the 8 ball?
We're late.
We're late. Okay.
But
so we've got some catching up to do.
We've done I think we've probably got the best sailing team led by Tom Slingsby. We've got some great, we're sort of pulling back people that have all been in different teams, like me.
Okay, yeah.
Glenn Ashby, famously, he's ahead of our design. And he's done a lot of work with the Kiwi. He sailed with the Kiwi, won a couple of cups with the Kiwi.
Right.
And they are providing us with the boat that they won the Cup in 2021.
Right.
And they're providing us with design resources to modify that to the new rule and to design new foils and new masts.
Yeah.
So we started so late we couldn't really get a design team together. So what we've done is we've bought a design package off them.
Right.
And we're sort of we're putting guys in their team to work with them. And to be fair to them, they've been bloody good. They're really good with us.
Wow.
So we're integrating ourselves into their team. I mean, they're the defending champions. They figure they can beat us, but so they're helping us as much as they can. But we'll see what happens at the end game.
Gee, that Anzac spirit just keeps forging on, doesn't it? Unreal. Tom Slingsby, you mentioned Olympic gold medalist in London. That's a good pickup.
Oh yeah, and he's in the SAIL GP circuit. He's won more events than any other skipper by a long, long way.
So you put together a good team for you to manage, mate.
Oh, yeah. We got some good guys. We got a really good sailing team, yeah.
Yeah, and so there seems like, even though it's a late start, you seem like you've got a fair bit of belief and confidence already.
Oh, yeah. We're going to win our fair share of races.
Great.
And, you want to stay tuned in. It's a push to think we're going to win the America's Cup, but we'll shake up a few competitors for sure.
Well, it's good to be back in it, Grant. That's the main thing, isn't it? Yeah.
Good to have an Australian boat in there. Yeah.
That's spot on, mate. Well, we're forever in your debt. Don't worry about that for 1983, but if you can have a real good crack in 2027, we'll be happy.
Oh, good on you. Thanks. Thanks a lot.
Thanks very much. Chief Executive of Team Australia, Grant Simmer. We're going back to the America's Cup, you beauty. Going to be in Naples. Got old Napoli in Italy, so that'll be awesome. And we're getting prepared. Going to head over there. They're going to be there for 6 months. They put a great team together, and we will stay in touch, Grant. We'll make sure that we do that. And wouldn't it be awesome to get another America's Cup to Australia?
Wouldn't it just? What a great story to hear that. 17 after 6.
Hot off the press.
So we are 10 picks into the AFL mid-season draft this evening. Port Adelaide have had their first round pick, and so have the Crows just seconds ago. So Port Adelaide have picked up a young lad from the North Melbourne VFL club. He's a 19-year-old midfielder called Xavier Bammett. So Xavier Bammett is apparently an aggressive endurance with a bit of size. He's got good work rate, some class and speed is probably his needs. But he's 19 years of age, 185 centimetres. So he's come out of the VFL and played in the national champs last year, of course. So there's a little bit there for Port Adelaide to work with a young lad from the VFL North Melbourne side, a midfielder to work with. And the Crows, I need to do my work on this because it's literally just dropped, but Hugo Hall-Kahan is their pick at pick 10, and that's the only pick they've got to fill up their final list. So
where's Hugo from?
He's from the VFL as well, Williamstown. So that's Hugo Hall-Kahan. There's a little hyphenated name to chuck on the list. And Port Adelaide still have 2 more picks to go. In regards to the SANFL, though, 2 big names have already departed the SANFL comp. Ollie Franco was picked at number 3 by the West Coast Eagles, so he's gone.
Damn, I was wondering whether Port were going to get him.
Yeah. Well, they got in early. And Caleb May has gone to the Western Bulldogs. Now, you can imagine that's disappointing Westies supporters out there, but that's, I would assume, a bit of cover. The Western Bulldogs. So cover for perhaps English because of his frailties at the moment with his head knocks and things. And I'm just watching right now, Max Beattie's just been picked up as well by the Hawks. So that's a loss for the Eagles as well. So that's now 3rd name from the SANFL that have been picked up in the draft. So we'll stay across that as we go.
A bit bittersweet, as we were talking earlier in the show about, it's great for the player and the kid, but it's certainly devastating for those clubs trying to, win a SANFL premiership.
All right, we'll take a break. We'll come back with more next, 19 after 6. And, of course, you can call in, be part of the show, 8223 0000.
The 5AA Sports Show, Rowey and Timmy G. Crows big man Riley O'Brien joins Rowey and Timmy G each week on the 5AA Sports Show. Find out what's going on at Westlakes. Thanks to Buy Urban Bathrooms and Kitchens Swear Jar Pledge. Riley O'Brien swears to bring you the latest Crows and AFL news.
Our first big deadline is Midnight Friday. Win $500,000. Get your Hospital Research Foundation Home Lottery tickets now to automatically enter the early bird draw for $500,000. Homelottery.com.au. Plus, your tickets stay in for the West Beach Grand Prize, a single-level stunner right on the beach. Early bird deadline, midnight Friday. Get your tickets at homelottery.com.au. Licence M14944.
This doesn't sound like a conference. This doesn't sound like a work trip. And this doesn't sound like team building. Because conferences and events sound different with Discovery Events. With modern facilities, standout catering and accommodation in 2 premier locations in South Australia, Adelaide Hills and Victor Harbour. Sound great? Visit discoveryevents.com.au, your destination for premier venues in unique locations across Australia.
Now, if you've been adding bits of shelving over the years, one here, one there, well, you're not alone. A lot of garages and sheds in Adelaide end up with 3 different shelf systems. None of them really match. Half of them are wobbly. They're all packed up with stuff you can't access. That sounds like my shed.
Yeah, exactly. Get yourself together, mate, and get to Sharman. You need a little Sharman in your life. Now, Bill and his team from Sharman Shelving, they'll come out, they'll measure your space, design it properly, then they deliver and install a custom storage system that fits, looks great, and most of all, it'll last.
Oh, that's so important. In fact, plenty of people come back years later because they've had Sharman Shelving for so long, they just want to add to it.
Absolutely. Now, take a look on Facebook, Instagram, and visit their showroom in Windsor Gardens. You'll absolutely love it. Jump online, have a look at sharmanshelving.com.au.
At Specsavers Audiology, your ears won't get ripped off by our hearing aids. Whew. You'll find the tech and style that's right for you, with something for every price range and 12 months of aftercare with every purchase. Compare your pair at Specsavers Audiology. T's and C's apply.
You've been the carer, the advocate, the constant, and you've done it out of pure love. But choosing specialist accommodation for your loved one isn't stepping back. It's one of the bravest things you'll ever do. Para Ability Community Care provides disability accommodation where every person is genuinely known, supported and cared for. We improve lives, and with our pack, you can go back to being the most important thing, the loving family member. Experience our kindness and connection. Visit ourpack.com.au.
Formula Honda's end of financial year event is on now, with great offers right across the Honda range. Receive price reductions of up to $2,000 on selected 25-built Honda CR-Vs. Premium engineering, exceptional value, a standard that's a cut above the rest. This is the end of financial year event, only from Formula Honda, and only while stocks last. Visit Formula Honda at Glen Osmond Road, Glen Osmond, or North East Road, Modbury, and book your test drive today. See honda.com.au for T's and C's.
The 5AA Sports Show with Rowey and Timmy G.
The mid-season on Tuesday night, we could potentially have the heart ripped out of our team. So, while it's all exciting, I guess, as a coach, it's great to see these guys developing and, hopefully they get their chance as well. But I honestly don't know where all that sort of stuff sits. So it's really hard because, I sit here and, how excited I am about the win. I could lose 2, 3, 4 guys Tuesday night.
That's Sam Jacobs on the Sunday Roast on 5AA. And as we speak, 4 sample players have been picked up so far tonight. We are through 14 selections. Port Adelaide have got their 2. The Crows have got their 1. There's still 1 pick left for Port in this draft. And Alex Van Wyck is added to the Port Adelaide list. Of course, ruckman from North Adelaide. So he fills the void of course, Soldo, who's come out of the side. And
I knew they'd
Lord.
get a tall. I knew they'd get a ruckman, sorry. But the midfielder from North Melbourne's VFL side, Xavier Bammett, look forward to having a look at him. Left footer, apparently, 19 years of age. Looks like a solid build. So they've identified that they're going to need some depth through their midfield. So we sort of get that as well. And they've got 1 more pick, which I wonder whether they'll go a forward or another mid.
Well, they've lost Lord, so there's a tall, and that sort of probably is another forward that they've been missing, isn't it? And they've had to throw Marshall forward. I suppose that's part of that solution they've been looking for. And the Crows, just repeating, Hugo Hall-Kahan, so he was picked up at pick 10. He's the only selection for the Crows, and he's a running defender. So that's a 22-year-old who's played at Williamstown Football Club. He's 188 centimetres. He rose through the junior ranks as a forward, but has spent time for the Seagulls in defence. So he's got some experience, some good skills.
Just saw
he was on Sydney's list for 18 months, 2022 and 2023 as a youngster. And he's come out to the VFL. So there you go. That's for Adelaide. We'll have 1 more Port pick shortly, but you can jump on the phone. 8223 0000 is our number. And of course, before we get to your calls, 5AA's Best of SA is not too far away, Timmy G.
June
and today,
the 12th?
It is June the 12th. Look
you.
at you. Do you want an award?
Yes, please.
All right. You are very good.
Love
Near
a
us
bit
a
of
pin.
acknowledgement.
That's our Best of SA dinner. You can win tickets to that and a $100 bottle of wine if you call
yummy.
in now, 8223 because we're celebrating Harcourts today. And when you sell your home with Harcourts Port Adelaide Largs Bay, you're choosing a team built on experience and results. They are Best of SA. Doug's at Blakeview. Hi, Doug.
Yeah, good day, guys. I just ringing about the AFL season, how it's really close, and this far out, you could not possibly pick a premiership favourite the way the season's going. But one thing you can pick, and that's Sydney to lose the grand final, because in 96, North Melbourne beat Sydney. In 06, West Coast Eagles beat Sydney. In 2016, Western Bulldogs beat Sydney. So who's going to beat Sydney in 26?
Doug.
There you go.
You numerologist, you. Unbelievable. That is such a great stat. Well done, Doug. I love that.
Good.
Well done.
Love it. Let's go to Matt at Seacliff. Hi, Matt.
Yeah, Tuggers, Rowey and Juniper. Hope you're all well.
Hey, g'day, mate.
It was about the mid-season draft. I understand SANFL clubs getting upset about it.
Yeah.
But so the players, well, am I correct in saying the players obviously have to nominate for said draft?
Yes, they do.
And then, and then if, so why doesn't the club, and, and again, perhaps it could be a restriction of trade or something, but why doesn't the club put in there, right, if you want to play for, say, South Adelaide, for argument's sake, say seems to be the one that's been hurt a fair bit by this. Why don't they say to the players, well, mate, you want to play with us, then you can't nominate for that draft. And then we'll sign, because obviously everyone's under contract, and say you can't do it. But the way I see it, though, if you are playing at the SANFL level and you're still relatively young, surely your aim is to get to the big league, if you will, for lack of a better term.
It is. It is. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. It just seems to me that, as bad as it is for the clubs, these young lads, or, in the mid-20s, whatever it may be, they get a chance to live out their dream. And, there should be something the SANFL clubs could perhaps put in place to stop that happening,
Yeah, I reckon if they probably wouldn't sign a deal like that because they don't want to restrict themselves. That would probably be the issue there. But I really do feel, like Josh Franco, I just watched his side get, pretty well beaten by Nord. He's now lost his best midfielder and his first ruck.
Yeah.
So it's a blow that he goes, well, I can't replace that now.
Yeah. Correct.
It's so tough on those coaches and those clubs. So yeah, I really do. I really do see the side of the SANFL side or the other second tier clubs around Australia that go, oh, come on, that's hurt me.
Yeah, recruiting's hard enough at that level. Port Adelaide have passed on their final selection.
Well, that is interesting. I was sort of hoping Jez McLennan might get a chance.
He did put his name up.
And I just think Jez just doesn't make mistakes. You'd be worse off, with other people, I think, than having him as a backup.
Yep.
He's playing good footy at SANFL level.
He's your captain.
He's clean.
Already entrusted.
And the one thing I see in our side is our skill level by hand and foot is poor. And I don't see him in that category.
And just to look at the Port Adelaide nominations too, Rome Burgoyne put his hand up as well. And if you're looking in your own backyard...
Rome's playing better. Rome's playing better football, no doubt about that.
He's a good year as a small back. So just recapping as well, because the mid-season draft is now complete. Doesn't take long, not like the national draft.
That's
4 SANFL players have been selected. So Ollie Franco from North Adelaide.
So North lose 2.
They lose 2. They lose Alex Van Wyk to Port Adelaide. Caleb May's gone to the Western Bulldogs.
West Adelaide.
And Max Speedy's off to Hawthorn.
Eagles. So for Sam Jacobs, he probably not happy, but he lost one, not 4.
He had 11 nominations.
He was very fearful.
Yes, indeed. 29 after 6, we're going to speak to Eddie Maguire next.
Rowey and Timmy G. The 5AA